Having kids is funny, man. It's just, my daughter getting older. She's turning 14 next week.
14,
about to enter high school and all that.
You're old as fuck.
I know, right? That shit crazy. So half my age almost. But goddamn, so we just thinking of new stuff to do, get her into, think about. So the subject of like bank accounts still came up.
Okay.
So I'm thinking like, I don't know, maybe we could do like a little cash setup or like a Cash App or something, get her a Cash App card, stuff like that. Cause my mom thinking like bank account, like she don't make no money. Like what she need, what she need a bank account for? We her bank account. Like honestly, like it's because she like get in a position where she like trying to go work somewhere and get some money, and then we do all that. And then girl was talking about like, we could do like an allowance for her doing her chores and shit. I'm like, allowance? Like I ain't never had no allowance. That wasn't really a thing. I don't know. Have y'all had an allowance before?
I had somewhat of an allowance.
So what was the basis around the allowance? Like how was that?
It really won't me because of like my chores and shit. Because it's like if I didn't do my chores, I just got my ass whooped. So that wasn't the basis.
There was no real option to not do.
Right. There was no option to not doing them. My mom just pretty much ended up giving me money because she knew I needed it for shit, like school lunches and shit, or
school lunch,
going to football games or basketball games and stuff like that. She'll make sure I had a little bit of money in my pocket for stuff like that.
Yeah, that's regular. That's why I used to get when stuff was happening that you needed money for. They would provide the money, but I won't get like I'm getting this $20 every week for doing shit around the house that I'm supposed to do already.
So mine was pretty similar to that, in that like my allowance I wasn't using that for those kind of things. Right. If I was going to a game, high school or something, we're going to the high school game. Like I wasn't using my allowance for stuff like that. My parents were giving money for that kind of thing too, but I did have like a really small allowance. I don't even remember what it was. It couldn't have been more than $20. It was something small. Crazy. But like I said, it wasn't like attached to my chores because that was just an expectation. You have to do this. Right. But I'll be honest, they did something for us that I think really did help me understand money. Because I think I'm really good with my money. Like I think I have a leg up on most people with how to manage my money.
Right.
And it was like kind of whatever that small amount was, it was like a mandatory thing that there was the 10% church amount that I had to set aside for that. And then I forget what the amount was. Maybe it was like a quarter of that or something was like a savings thing.
Right? Yeah.
And then the rest was actually my money.
Right.
So I didn't think anything of it as a kid. Because it was more like if I wanted to buy a video game or something like that, then I was having to use my allowance for that, unless it was like birthdays or something like that. But as I got older, I was like, damn, it really did like just set up to me. It was normal that when you get money, some of it has to be saved, some of it is just for me.
Right.
And then, coming from a Christian background, it was like some of that is supposed to be used for church or something, helping others or something like that.
Right.
So it did kind of plant that in my head early on when I didn't even realize what exactly was going on.
Yeah.
But that was really the extent of it. It wasn't like the traditional do your chores and we'll give you that extra money kind of thing.
I think shit like that should be taught in school though, like financial literacy and shit. Because there's so many motherfuckers that's why people go broke when they have $100,000. It's like you really should never go.
Because it's fairly easier to manage your $20 a week when you ain't really got no responsibility.
For sure.
It comes when you're getting more money. You have bigger bills and shit coming in situations that you have to manage for.
The problem is if you can manage the $20, you can manage $200,000. That's the thing, because it's all the same. It's just like relative. So the thought is that regardless, so if you spend up that $20, you would do the same with $20,000. You get what I'm saying? Because you don't have.
Thing to me. It's totally different. Like I know people that can manage money, but they've never had like a lump sum of 100,000 sitting in front of them.
Well, if they can manage the money that they have, then they will be able to manage the 100,000 as well too. People's habits don't change like that. Like that's why, like I don't know, a lot of people, even when they start making more money at a job or whatever, they're still struggling because they just started spending more money. Get what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. That's one thing you can't account for. When you're making more money, you're not able to recognize that you're going to spend more on certain things. Unless you're just a frivolous person that don't spend money on nothing.
Well, what I'm saying, it's because of habit, though. You're able to manage it. Like you're making more money. You should have more money to save and do other things. But people I don't know. I don't really know exactly how to explain it here. Like,
I mean, I feel like that was kind of the thing that I was learning as a kid when I didn't have bills.
Right.
It was still like just because I have money, there are these savings and church things that I still have to account for, so that those are still covered while I still have my money. I agree with you in that, like, I think it does. You kind of develop a mindset if you can manage a small amount of money and a large amount of money.
Sum as well. Like, I think to me, again, I think the problem with most people is when they get more money, they start spending more money as well too.
Yeah, I don't think people think about people don't think about the future.
Right.
So if you get $20 or you get $100,000, it's like, well, this is my money now. What can I do with it? Mm-hmm. And there's like no thought process about I'm gonna have a bill due next month that I should also hold some of this money for. It's just, I got $100,000. What can I buy?
Right.
And that's the kind of thing that I think you can develop that habit with small amounts that will translate.
The first thing that people think of stupid, when they get money is what can I buy?
What can I buy?
Instead of
what can I save?
Or what can I invest? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that. And that's the issue. And again, it's just financial literacy, and it's because it's not taught. It's something that you have to either your parents have to teach it to you, which your parents are great, but most parents don't.
Right.
Teach that to their children. Or I would think the school system should do that. You would think if you wanted like a productive community and citizens and stuff like that, you would think that that's something that would be taught in school, but it's just not. Instead, we're in PE.
I don't even think about
George Washington. We need to know about George Washington.
Cherry tree.
We got to.
That's huge. It's like I shouldn't even fucking know that he chopped down a cherry tree. If he even did,
No, he's supposed to have wooden teeth. Don't know why I needed to know that information. Right. But I would tell them
that's some shit that you don't even fucking need to know. Like it means nothing. Did nothing for you.
Not at all.
Literally.
Not at all.
It's like super arbitrary information. It's fucking down the drain.
When I get money, I don't even really think about like what can I buy. Like I'm more of a save type of person.
Yeah,
like I think about
this is like a mentality.
I think about the money I have. Yeah. If I buy stuff, it just means I have less.
Right.
And like I don't know if that's. I assume that's something that you could teach. I don't think that's just my personality. But like as nice as it is to get a new pair of shoes, I'm like, I got $300 right now. If I get these shoes, I got $150 now. It's like, damn, I just lost $150. Like, I don't really think about, like, what I get from having the shoes, per se, or whatever the thing is. I'm just like, damn, now my money is less.
Yeah, I have a battle between that. Because I hate spending money like that, but I like nice shit.
Right.
Every now and then I like to give me some nice shit. Like, so it's just like, it's a battle.
I think that's a good battle, though.
Yeah, because I like nice shit, but I ain't going to spend all my money on the nice shit.
The thing is,
I will make a little room so I can give me these shoes I want, or this hand, or this game I want to play. Or something.
And that's fine. Of course, that's part of life. You got to buy clothes and shit that.
For sure.
But the biggest thing is just to make sure that you're spending your money on assets and shit, more assets than liabilities and things like that. If you can do that, then you're fine regardless. So
yeah,
this is one thing to remember.
True indeed.
Yeah, I mean the whole financial literacy thing is such a broad topic, and it's hard. There's not really a right way.
A lot of different
questions. Like it depends on what your goals are. Like we all know Max. Like Max is super invest. Mm-hmm. Wants to grow his wealth. Like will openly tell you wants to be a millionaire one day.
Yeah.
I don't even want to. Like that's not a thought that I have.
Right.
Not a goal that I have. I expect that I'll never be a millionaire, and I don't care at all. Like I would prefer to use my money in ways that like brings me joy. I don't know exactly what that is. I couldn't tell you like off the top. These are things that I think are valuable.
Yeah.
But like I would rather use. I want to save so that I'm not ever concerned 2 months from now if the car breaks down. Like I'm not shit out of luck. but I'm not really like saving or investing in the sense that I'm hoping to be rich one day.
Right. I mean, I just want to obtain assets and shit that might accumulate to $1 million worth, so you can say that your net worth is whatever amount. And that's just for cool. Like, to pass along to my kids and stuff like that, like give them tangible things to have. It ain't about like seeing it in my bank account. That's not a big thing for me. It's just obtaining things that grow in value over time is the big thing for me.
I'd like to get $1 million one day.
Yeah,
I mean, it'd be a nice thing to have.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not turning it down, but I'm saying that's not the end all be all for me. Like, I don't have to see it.
Don't get me wrong. I hate money. I hate money. If I was to be real about it, I hate it because as soon as you get it, as soon as it's gone, it seems like to me. But if I had a lot of it, I'll be cool with that.
Yeah, I won't be mad if I become a millionaire. I look at money more as like a utility. Like, what can I use this for that will fulfill my life or prevent my life from being more stressful? So that's why like the savings part comes in, and that I know that I could afford something if I have to, if something comes up. But I don't really think about it beyond that. I also don't know much about. I don't know how I feel about like the generational thing and like having assets for my kids. Not like against it or for it or something. I don't really know how I feel about it. Understood. I don't have any kids, but like my parents don't have any assets.
Right.
They rent the place they stay at now. When my dad randomly decided to go back to law school, they went in crazy debt. Like they're not gonna pass down anything to me.
Right.
But their whole life,
some assets could be a hindrance.
Right.
If you believe in certain shit too, and it's kind of like, it's an asset, but it's like it's this restaurant that gotta been having a hard time last 5 years.
Yeah, now you gotta keep up with it.
Now it's my shit now. I gotta deal with this.
But they always made it to like where I was comfortable.
Right.
Like I don't say that they don't have assets is a bad thing. I don't care at all.
Yeah.
They set me up perfect, and I never had to worry about stuff like that. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Y'all have any like strong feelings? I mean, it sounds like you have a game
comfortable to get to a point where you're comfortable. Where I feel like I don't have to go out and work every single day if I don't want to. Mm-hmm. That would be the real goal. Whatever amount that is. Yeah. To have where it's like I don't have to go and work this job or do this thing every single day. I got money, I'm pretty good right now. I can chill for a couple months, go take a vacation when I want type shit. That's the goal, I would think. Wherever that comfortable spot is, however much money that is.
I agree. I like that too.
I mean, just to me, I think it's just I don't know. I want to own a lot of shit. That's it. I want to own some like properties. I want to own some land, at least 5 to 10 acres.
Do you want to own like a business or anything as well?
Kinda, sorta, yeah. Yeah, I would say yeah, for sure. Just have multiple streams of income and stuff like that. That's kind of what we're pushing towards now. It's should be profiting pretty good in multiple areas within about 2 to 3 years.
Nice.
So, and then that I can use that to invest in other things that are probably. I think it's just big for me to pass down something to my kids, give them a foot up on something.
Yeah.
I don't want them to have to pay for college and stuff like that. But
that'd be fire.
I want them to, even though I didn't go to college, I want them to do it. And it's not necessarily for like. I think the networking is bigger than the education type thing in college, so I think, and just experience and stuff like that. So I want them to have those things, and I want to be able to provide those opportunities for them, because that's all that money is. It's like, it just opens up for more opportunities. The more money you have, more opportunities that you have, and therefore your family will too. So that's just the biggest thing for me, and like ownership. So regardless when I'm gone or whatever, because everybody gonna have a date. I just want them to be able to say, like, even if you don't want this land, you can sell it, and now you up $250,000 or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's generational type thing. So, and hopefully, whatever I do, they can follow in the footsteps and build upon that, and just continue. Because I feel like most black people don't have that. You know what I'm saying? It's just not a thing to where, you know, you're getting those kind of things passed down. I know a few that are, but most of them are not like that.
I hear that.
Doing there.
Yeah,
they on the bed. I didn't know we was gonna get to a deep.
Yeah, we
like
ended
that.
up going super deep on
we
that.
Did.
We gotta come back because I think you have more of a story about this bank account. But we are 15 minutes in, haven't even introduced the pod. Return of the Mac, M.A.C, Moss, Andrew, Carl, back in the building. Episode 155. What's happening?
We back.
So you started talking about the bank account. Did y'all come to a resolution on that?
Not yet. I mean, we still gotta, you know, have a full conversation about it, but I think we'll probably just do the cash out wave right now.
Yeah.
Because the thing that y'all like kind of light me on just right now is having things that she has to pay for to where it makes sense for her to get some type of money every week so she know how to manage that. That makes sense. Because that was my thing. Like, she ain't got to pay for shit. What she need?
Right.
I count to put money in for her to do
but
nothing.
Think about if you do put it in there and you know, like, she has to pay for X, Y, and Z, and she knows she has to pay for those things.
Yeah.
It'll help her learn how to manage money.
Yeah,
because if you turn around 2 weeks from now when she says, I don't have any money, but you know you put enough in there for her to have whatever she needed to do, whatever y'all planned out, what she needed to do, then you'll be like, hey, well, you just mismanaged your shit. Because we know we put enough in here for
That's how I go. I look at my account, I want to do something else.
Yeah,
if it ain't there, I can't do that shit.
Like, I make that decision real fast.
Like, every time my daughter get $1, she want to buy a toy or something with it, and I'm
that's
like,
how mine is.
I
she
take
buy
that
some
shit.
candy
I'm like,
or something.
no, it's actually it's going in your account. Like, no, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is where to go. Or I give her like a little bit of it or something, but I let her know like, hey, we gotta save some money, and that's just more important.
I kind of did that a few times. Like when she gets money for like birthdays or like Christmas or something like that. Like I'll hold it for her and she'll forget about it, and then she'll like ask for something. I'm like, yeah, we can go get that. We'll get that. And I'm like, yeah, you know you paid for that, right? That was your money that's been bought them shoes just now. Like, yeah, you forgot you had that too, didn't you? See, I was saving it for you.
I'm thinking about it more. I don't think I had a bank account of my own until I got a job.
Same.
Yeah, I had like, the money that I had was just in the sock drawer.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't have any account. Once I got a job, that's when I actually got a bank account. And as far as paying like a bill, that didn't happen until I got my driver's license.
Okay.
And they were like, "We'll put you on our insurance," but I paid
that's
for
exactly
car
how
insurance.
it was.
But like most people I knew had a car that they didn't pay for. I was like, "Yo, this is crazy. It's crazy. What do I got to do? Buy the car for?"
Crazy steal for that Mustang. Well, that's my baby.
Oh yeah.
Got it from like my aunt's fiance at the time. I think he sold it to us for like $1,200.
Oh God.
Yeah, right.
Oh, this shit for
That's
like the
more
next
than I
10
paid
years
for my
after
piece
that.
of junk car.
It had stupid miles on it, but I still got another 10 years out of it.
Yeah,
at least. I'm like, yo, I'll take it. And it was a
That
Mustang.
thing,
Yeah,
that
you a
thing was
sports car in
nice.
high school?
That was nice.
Come on.
Jealous.
Love this thing, boy. A lot of riding.
I know somebody is never gonna have to worry about bank accounts or nothing like that. Mr. Kyler Murray. Mr. Kyler Murray got paid.
Big
son.
money.
I don't even know what the numbers were. What was it? Do y'all know?
$230 million, 230 and a half.
130 guaranteed was all I needed to see.
I thought it was 160 guaranteed.
Or was it even better?
160 guaranteed.
I saw the
It's like
annual amount at like
46
46 or 47.
46.
That's
Sheesh.
crazy.
46 and a half. Something. So he's making slightly more than Deshaun Watson.
Oh yeah.
Is
Is it the biggest contract ever then?
Deshaun Watson's is the biggest
I think it's the
guaranteed
second.
contract ever.
Gotcha.
That's what I think.
It's the second.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's what it's about. Because I think annually, Aaron Rodgers is making more than everybody. He's making like
Oh,
50
really?
million
I
a
don't know.
year or something.
Oh, because he signed for like 2 years, 100 million or something, or an
something
extension or
stupid.
something.
Yeah, nuts.
Yeah. I mean, look, we've talked. Obviously, the contract's crazy and stuff.
Yeah.
But we've talked about Kyler, I feel like, a few times. And earlier in the week, you said Cardinals going to regret this.
Yeah,
I think that's the discussion.
yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you gotta pay that man.
Yeah. So before you give your reason, because like I understand what you're saying,
Yeah.
kind of. But I feel like you don't understand the quarterback market, if that's your argument.
No,
Because
I
every
certainly
team
understand
that
it.
gets to a quarterback that is of Kyler's caliber or even slightly below, the NFL, you got to have the big quarterback.
Facts.
And no team that gets a guy that's as good as he is going to let that guy walk. Just nobody lets anybody walk.
Well,
That's why Garoppolo's get paid. That's why guys that we don't think deserve the money that they get, and probably are right about, are always going to get paid, because NFL franchise quarterback, it's just, that's the premium.
Yeah,
a lot of teams
I
don't
get
have
that.
one.
I get that for sure. And I mean, it's not like he's a bad player. No, he's a good player. He's demonstrated that he can play in the league and do pretty well with good surrounding cast or whatever. But to me, I just don't feel like he's worth, top dollar, like the top 5 money of an NFL quarterback. I haven't seen him play like a top 5 player at that position. So I don't get why you pay him as a top 5 player. Or
what makes somebody worth that to you?
I mean, you got to be statistically, what categories did he finish in the top 5? I don't think
statistically gotten better every season.
But that's kind of my point, though, is I agree with you. He's not a top 5 quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, in that sense, he shouldn't be paid in the top 5 of quarterbacks.
That's all I'm saying.
But that's my point, is it doesn't matter.
It don't matter, because you got to pay him.
It's like an all or nothing. He's been having his little, whatever you want to call it, over the past 8 or 9 months, where they're unfollow the team on Instagram and stuff, and he's unhappy, not planning to show up, or whatever the case is. Like, the Cardinals know it's either we've got to trade this guy and get something back for him, or we got to pay him. So there's not like we can, all right, let's settle on $35 million a year, because that's honestly what we think you should be. It's like, no, max me out or get rid of me.
Honestly, I would go with the trade. But that's just, I think that's why I think this thing's gonna roll back
at some point,
at a certain point, because they're gonna look around and say, man, all of these guys coming out of the systems in the NFL now are literally built for these college quarterbacks with these RPO systems to come in and be successful immediately. So all of these guys are coming in, they're super athletic now, they can throw the ball all over the yard. And not saying it's like every quarterback that's drafted, no, but every class has like 2 to 3 guys
more available. It does seem that way.
But that's all I'm saying. That doesn't mean that all of them are going to be good. Of course, you have to take some snaps in the NFL. But
so you already know it's a roll of the dice.
Yeah, but that's for sure. It's a roll of the dice to pay a guy that much money regardless. But one thing that we do know, once you do pay a guy that much money, you're pretty much saying that we can't build the rest of the roster. That's all. And no team paying a guy that much has won a Super Bowl.
Do you think they need more to build on that roster? Or would you say that they've been building that roster the past 3 years?
I think their defense is trash.
Okay.
So I don't think of them as being great. I couldn't say.
They got a good offense.
They went 7-0 before Kyler got hurt or some shit like that. Before
DeAndre Hopkins got hurt.
They started the year off 7-0 last year. They was on the road. They was the best team in the league for the first half of the season.
Yeah, I feel like they got to like 9 or maybe 9 and 1 or something. It was like something crazy.
Forget that because of course what happened towards the end of the season.
Right,
all
once
the
you
injuries
fall apart, you fall apart.
With what they had on that team, they was undefeated, and when everybody was not injured. So, I mean, I feel like they think they got what they need right now. Of course, you can always add pieces every year, but I feel like the majority of the main pieces, they feel like they got what they need right now.
Yeah, maybe, but I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. They'll regret that at some point.
It is such a weird thing because, like, it does seem like that formula of making your run when you've got the not huge salary quarterback has been way more successful. But there's no team in the league that has a good quarterback that doesn't pay up. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird that we are seeing a successful way, but when the opportunity comes, the franchise says every single time, resign.
But that's like the ideal situation, though, for a guy to take off in his first 3 seasons. Right. Of course, you will want that to happen. Don't usually play out like that for everybody, though.
Well, what I'm saying is
you got to end up paying that man.
They didn't have to pay him.
But I think this is where the business part comes in.
Yeah.
As much as now versus paying them later. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying as much as we as fans look at Super Bowls and all this kind of stuff.
Right. We're selling tickets.
The Cardinals are saying this is a franchise player that people will come and watch for the next 5 years.
Facts.
We pay him, we make money.
What I'm saying is, though, the Cardinals, he was still under contract regardless. That's why.
How much left?
He got drafted in 2019.
There's one more season. He had one more season.
No, he got
after this one. Like
he got one more season after this. Yeah, because they got a 5th-year option. Yeah, every first-round pick has a 5th-year option. Yeah. Okay. So you could do that, and then if it doesn't work out, you can franchise tag a motherfucker. Then you can franchise tag him again. So you didn't have to do any of this. That's all I'm saying. Like
that's a good argument.
I feel like
true, they could have stood on it. They didn't have to.
Well, I mean,
obviously, Colin was filling away.
Yeah, I know
he was
that
filling away after the season.
I know you get like disgruntled players and stuff like that. But I feel like the organization at some point has to take back their leverage. They got all the leverage. Like realistically, I feel like they do.
I feel like most times they do when it's not the quarterback. When it's the quarterback, we talking about a different conversation. When it's a running back doing it, then you're weighing out your options. Like, all right, we can get another guy in the draft that can do what he does, yada, yada, yada. You're not going to get another Kyler Murray in the next year's draft. It's not likely.
I mean, you can get somebody better.
I still think there's I think I've said this to you before, but I think there's also a difference in what you see as a Steelers fan.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely biased because of that.
This family-esque atmosphere within the franchise, like it's an honor to be a Steeler, and there is like a difference between the way they negotiate and stuff. Like, we're gonna pay you, but we're gonna be reasonable with it.
Yeah.
Whereas the Cardinals are like, yeah, we've been trashed.
Yeah, Arizona got
quite a long time. Whatever we got to do to keep Kyler, it is what it is. But I mean, I think you made a decent point with the 2 years remaining and the franchise stuff available. You're playing with fire when you're pissing off your star, but I mean, you are in control at that point.
Think about it.
Like, what are you going to do, not play?
Lamar Jackson was drafted like 2 years before Kyler. He's still on his rookie deal.
Yeah, that is crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
That is crazy.
They didn't have to
pay him yet.
No, he's on his 5th-year option.
He's the one they've been talking about him a lot.
He's demanded that shit.
Well, he's not. He's not rushing it because I think what Lamar Jackson wanted to do was capitalize on it. Yeah, right. The market is going to keep going up right now, and especially if he balls out this year, then
he's going to top Kyler's contract.
Yeah, by far.
For sure.
They were talking about him a lot this past week. Once Kyler signed, they were like, Lamar is sending thank yous to Kyler right now because he's just driving the price up.
He doesn't have an agent either.
Lamar?
Yeah, it's him and his mom that
I think I've heard that, but I didn't know that.
Really. He doesn't have an agent. I don't really think. I mean, I think players need agents if they want to just like focus on the game and stuff like that.
Economics is why he hasn't demanded no money yet. If he had an agent, they would have asked for that money already.
Whether he wanted
it. Yeah,
agents are like, we need to ask for this now. You're the MVP of the league last year. We got to get this money.
The agents are greedy, but I don't think you need one to negotiate a contract per se because it's all public information.
It seems like it would be so easy.
I'm just getting a little more than the last guy.
I don't know if it's all public information.
Yeah, the contracts are available for everybody.
All the details of a contract out.
Well, I mean, I'm me or you, but I'm sure that the NFL has it, and they would give you, if you're negotiating a contract, you're comparing your peers' contracts to what they're offering you.
I feel like that's what we mostly see is the number. I don't think we see a lot of the details.
Well, I'm sure they see the details. That's all I'm saying.
But there may be an unwillingness to provide that information to somebody that's not represented, because like it's like a business agreement. Like the NFL knows that there's agents that are part of this process. So if you're going outside of the agent process, like. I don't know. There's just, you know what I'm saying?
They'll be willing to do it if it's a star player and they're trying to get the contract done. Oh, well, I'm talking about just that organization or that team that they will give them those details. I'm sure they can access that somehow. It's got to be a pool of it somewhere.
There may be legal stuff that doesn't allow you to just show somebody else's contract.
I don't think any player needs an agent. I think you just need a lawyer that can, or an advisor.
Ain't that the same idea?
Kind of, but all you need is somebody to look over the contract, but not necessarily negotiate it and take a percentage of that contract that you're getting.
Well, that's what the
you just pay the lawyer off. You might already have this guy on a retainer anyway. He's paid. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The agents.
If a lawyer is reviewing a contract for you where you're about to get $250 million. They're not going to be just going on their regular retainer fee, I would imagine. Like, they're going to be upping their fee or basically getting a percentage in a sense.
It could be probably less than the agent, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of with you. It doesn't seem like it would be undoable.
Especially a rookie deal. I don't know if I'm going with that. What does any rookie
need an agent for? Some fucking representatives. Don't go out here thinking, let's negotiate on my contract. I don't think everybody should take that route. He knows more than most if he's feeling confident to do
it's
that.
not for everybody. Like I said, I mean, some people just want to focus on ball, but again, I don't see why any rookie would need an agent. Put it that way, like
because those are set contracts.
Yeah, it's a set deal.
Is that all of them or just the first round?
No, all of them. Pretty much every pick is
slotted. Age or something, right?
Every pick is slotted for how much you're gonna make. You know, with your draft pick or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
So I think after that, it's just language of the contract that needs to be deciphered and worked through. And again, you can just hire a lawyer to do that. Or some people's uncles are smart enough to look through a contract and be able to say, like, oh, we don't want this, we don't want that.
Yeah, I don't know if I would advise that part of it.
I'm just saying,
you shouldn't ever hire family to do business for you. I don't think that should be a thing either.
I don't think you should.
Depending, unless they're already in that business. If they ain't never had no part of this business, you like, my family was my family. He gonna be my manager now. But they ain't never been no manager or nobody. I don't think that's the right
move. Right. I mean, if you have no history of doing it, but
right.
anyone can learn something.
Sure.
You know, so I don't think
I wouldn't say run it on my watch. I want somebody to know it.
Yo, if any of you guys get signed though, holler at me. My dad does contracts.
Hey,
like, we got you.
Hey, we might need one.
We got you.
We got you.
Small service fee for me.
I'm referring to you, so I get like a percentage.
Still better than an agent.
Yeah. I mean, I just feel like you don't need one, but the agents are definitely going to be more aggressive at pursuing stuff and pushing for the top dollar and things like that. So
yeah, I feel like as far as like being able to do it and stuff, you're probably right that it could be done and you could save money that way or whatever. But I think that negotiation process is totally different.
Yeah,
like they know what to do, and even if there's not like a special thing that they're doing that you don't know about, I would imagine that ownership is just looking at a negotiation different.
Yeah,
like we're negotiating with a professional that does sports contracts compared to Lamar's mom.
I don't like representing yourself in court without your lawyer.
I was gonna say,
the other side's looking at you. You about to be fooled. You don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, it's like going to a body shop and you don't know nothing about cars.
Exactly.
Like you can do the best you can to like not let them take advantage of you, but they know you don't know shit.
Right, but
you know what I'm saying?
It's different a bit because again, all of the shit is out there for you to. You know what the last contract was, and you know what you're trying to be.
Right, but I'm talking negotiation process.
Right, for sure. I think it's
that rap conversation when we talk about contracts and shit. I don't think it's that simple. Like, oh, I can look at this contract and know that they're about to fuck me for the next 10 years. I don't think it's not that simple, bro.
No,
it's never that simple. People don't that simple. I don't think people don't bother to read that real quick.
It probably is. Most people don't bother to read it. And I know they try to like dress stuff up in language and stuff, but that's why you need lawyers.
Exactly.
But my thing is with the football negotiation, I think is the bigger thing about a player not doing it versus an agent doing it or whatever, or a player doing it versus an agent doing it, is how personal those negotiations may get, and how a player might feel a type of way after negotiating a deal with their team, and they saying, but you're not this, but you're not that. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are the type of conversations that go back and forth that a player probably doesn't want to deal with.
That's a good point.
That's what I think is more about than the bottom lines or the numbers, because those are what they are. That's what I feel. But it's about getting to those personal details about what player you are and what you're worth, like what they think you're worth and what you think you're worth. Most players don't want to hear that. You know, the reality of it. So that's why I think, like, while most players want to get an agent over going the route that I was suggesting.
Have y'all heard anything about the baseball arbitration process for contracts?
No.
So baseball contracts, you're like under contract for 3 years or something, and then in the fourth year you become arbitration eligible. So the arbitration is every year. You're up for arbitration again if you don't agree on the next year's salary. And the arbitration process is like what you're talking about, like where you're going to basically a court and presenting your case about why you think you should be paid X amount of dollars, and you actually have to submit the dollar amount that you think you should be paid. And the team submits the dollar amount that they think you should be paid.
Shit gets personal.
And it's not a middle of the ground. It's one of them is more accurate and is awarded to be the winner. But they said that those processes in the court are like nasty.
Yeah.
Because the team is like, they're presenting everything. Like he was late for these meetings over and over and saying he's not as good of a route runner as this person.
Right.
It's
like the money in baseball giving out. They're like, yeah, we're gonna dock this as much as we can.
Son, they're showing you against all your peers. And maybe even people on your own team. So like it would be easy to build a resentment. You know what I'm saying? Because of that. So like imagine what the Baltimore might be telling Lamar Jackson, like, oh well, you don't have as many passing yards as Patrick Mahomes or these guys and stuff like that. So or
like
Josh,
Teddy
you know what I'm saying?
Bridgewater or something.
Yeah. So what'd you say?
So you don't have as many passing yards as like Teddy Bridgewater.
Oh, fuck you. But still,
Patrick Mahomes.
They might
to the top with it.
No, seriously, they might bring something like that up, and you feel hella disrespected.
You
get what I'm saying?
On that,
you would feel hella disrespected because of that. Like, yo, why would you even bring his fucking name up? Like Kirk Cousins or some shit. Like, yo, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's why I think it's most players will be like, y'all, let me get an agent for that shit because I'm not. It'd be hard for you to practice after going through that all over the weekend and say that you're going to come in here on Monday and give it my all when y'all just told me I want shit.
Right.
Compared to the other people in my position around the league.
Send your agent.
So. Yeah. That's probably a better idea. Probably a better idea.
Focus on football.
Yeah, shout out to Kyler, though, man. We'll see what happens. I think, like I said, offensively, they got a decent roster over there, so.
It'll be fine.
We'll see what
they
happens.
had to do.
I still just think he's too small. But
yeah, I know. We know.
Anyway,
he's a good player.
Baseball contract. Juan Soto, 23-year-old phenom. He's been in the league for like 3 years now, so he's not like a up and coming prospect that hasn't played. Like he's legit good. He got offered 15 years, $440 million contract. Turn that shit down. Can you imagine turning down? And these are guaranteed contracts.
I can't imagine it at all.
That ain't no unguaranteed nothing. Can you imagine turning down $440 million?
What's his reason?
I couldn't imagine it at all, but 15 years is a long fucking time.
Yeah, I know his reasons probably to hold out to get more later, but
so
is there something specific?
The highest paid contract is something like $36 million, $37 million, or something like that per year right now. And if you do the 15 over the 440, it comes up to be like $30 million. So it's a crazy amount of money.
Right.
But he's considered to possibly be like over the next 5 years the best player in baseball.
Right.
Maybe.
Right.
If not, he certainly is in the top couple. So I think they're kind of looking at it as like annually he's relatively underpaid. And that's right now. Right. You think about 6 years from now, if contracts are continuing to go up, he's going to be super underpaid. So they're locking him in for 15 years. I mean, there's upside and there's downside on it, obviously. Yeah. If he gets hurt 2 years from now, like, would have been nice to have been locked in for 15 years at $30 million a pop.
Yeah.
But
he could become the best.
Yeah. So the Nationals suck. He may just not want to be in that organization anymore and not want to sign with them for 15 years.
Nationals.
But I mean, they're at this point. They said like we've offered the most that we could ever offer, so they're now looking to trade him. So most likely they're going to trade him elsewhere, and he's going to get paid wherever he goes.
Does he have an agent?
Yeah, Scott Boras.
Okay, yeah.
Y'all know Scott Boras? He does football too, right?
I don't think I've never heard of him.
No, is it Rosen? Rosenhaus was the TO guy that got super famous. Yeah. He's the baseball version of him.
Okay.
But actually, I should say it's the other way around. Like, I think Rosen, he's notorious. He gets you money.
Okay.
So he's not playing around.
I think it might be safe to say if he didn't have the agent, he was taking that 15-year $440 million.
Probably.
That agent knows some better information for him that's telling him, like, no, don't take this. If they're offering you this, you can get this next year.
I don't think you need an agent to know how to do division and say, like, this annually isn't enough money per year.
I think most normal people presented with that amount of money would just be like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
And I think the agent is telling them.
You're not second guessing that number at all.
I think the agent is telling them you get traded and you're going to get paid somewhere else, and they can probably get more of like a 10-year, $400 million contract.
Exactly.
Whereas damn near the same amount, but for an extra $10 million a year or something.
Right.
Just
that's
crazy.
Why you need an agent to talk you off that ledge and let you know, dog. Like, just give it one more season, dog. One more season, it's gonna be a different number on that table in less years or some shit like that.
Ain't no bad choices.
Yeah.
When those are the options.
Exactly. Exactly.
That stuff was just.
I don't think Kirk Cousins has an agent.
Oh, he's done well. He's done well for himself.
Yeah, I don't think he does. Let me see. I don't know if that's gonna come up, but
Anyway, where we at?
The last contract news we had was James Harden.
Oh yeah, say he's gonna he told the Sixers, get what you need and give me whatever's left over. So he's not taking the max extension that I guess people would expect him to take.
Yeah, I mean, look, I want to give Harden props here, but I did think it was funny because I saw that quote like last week or the week before or whatever, and then he signed the 2-year contract the other day, and it's like $32 million a year or something like that.
it's like 36.
Wasn't it like 2 for 64?
That's a lot of money.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, that's what. Take whatever else you need and give me back whatever is left me.
It probably could have been 4 years, 100 and some million though.
No, he certainly could have got more money. I'm not taking shots at him. I thought it was funny because the way it was like presented in that quote and talked about, I was like expecting like, yo, is he about to take like 18 million and like they're really gonna go get a bunch of other people? It was like more like we're gonna cut down to 45 to 33. I mean, that's a big cut. Big cut.
And said he can renegotiate next season, so he can go right back next season and just change it up a little bit.
I thought it was a good move for him. Like, he clearly has diminished in... I don't want to say diminished in his ability is gone. His numbers have diminished over the past year or two. And his reputation, I think, has taken a hit for whatever that is worth. I think it looks good for him to... seemingly prioritize, let's make the team better. I really do want to win.
Yeah,
and it's not like he doesn't have money. He's gotten massive contracts in the past. I thought that was a good move.
Yeah, I don't think it's smart for anybody to pay him like a max deal at this point in his career. I don't think it would be smart. Not if you actually.
I don't disagree.
Not if you actually plan on winning a championship.
Like a max deal would get him in like 5 years, 40-something million probably.
You could get it.
Do you think that as a team though, any team, do you think that would be a good?
It wouldn't be a team that's trying to win a chip. I agree with that.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be trying to win a chip. But yeah, his he could have got what he wanted.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So him taking that less is a big step.
For sure.
Even last season, I know people were just dogging him a little bit, but he was playing like point guard Harden last 2 years, I should say. So his scoring has gone less, but he still almost averaged a triple-double this season. So it's like he just did numbers in different other ways instead of having putting up 30, 35 points a game.
Yeah, but let's be real about why his scoring is dipped.
Because he was a point guard.
There's 2 reasons. They're both are legitimate reasons. He did completely change his role.
Yeah.
I think you have to acknowledge that.
Yeah.
But I think it's crazy to say
I don't need
that.
to put up 35 a game.
No,
I think it's wild to not acknowledge though that he doesn't look the same.
No,
when he does try to score.
No, not even that. Specifically, he's not getting to the free throw line.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, we played with an injury like the last half.
Yeah, I mean that's the reason why he was averaging so much. He averaged the most free throws I think in NBA history or some shit like that. When he was scoring so high at a clip like that. So that's the reason they're not calling those fouls anymore for him. They made that adjustment a couple years ago, and now you're seeing the adjustment of his numbers as well too. That's how I see it.
Sure,
he was at the line.
Has a little bit to do with it, but I think it's still more so down.
He's averaging
his role on the teams he's been on is just.
I think he's only averaging like 18 to 20 free throws per game.
No,
some shit
kind of
high. Honestly, I don't even know. I don't even know what number. I think that's
dumb,
way high.
It was dumb high though.
It was a lot. It was like just 2-3 years ago, he had like 5 60-point games and mad 40-point.
Yeah, right. And look how many. But if you look at his free throws doing that, you're like, oh, I mean, damn near a quarter of those points came from free throws.
He would have games where he gets to the line 20 times.
Yeah.
No, 100%. But I think like average over the year, I don't even want to say a number, but it probably was like 11 or 12.
Do y'all feel like that's a knock on the points that you score though, because you got a lot of free throw shots? Because a lot of motherfuckers that can't hit free throws.
When you flop,
people take good free throw shooters for granted. When there's a bad free throw shooter out there, they be like, "Yo, what's wrong with motherfucker can't hit?"
Oh, for sure, you gotta make them for sure. But when you doing all that flopping and shit, yeah, I do. I think it's a knock.
If they're calling it, they're calling it. The refs got to
It's
call
part
it.
of the game. Yeah, but it's still.
He ain't making his own calls.
I think the way you could phrase it as a knock against his game is that when they changed how they were calling it and his free throws did come down some. Again, knowing that he did go point guard role a little bit, but his numbers were so drastically impacted where other stars across the league that were high-scoring players didn't see that same regression. Yeah. Then it starts to look a little bit odd. It's like, yo, you really took advantage of this rule. Not that you shouldn't have done it, but it does, like, I don't know. There's a knock there, and that you did get a lot of your points off of
that
it.
that crazy
that reminds
season?
me of like that was like 2 years ago. Last night he was with Houston, but it also, I don't know if y'all gonna say I'm being a hater in this moment, but
Probably.
I feel like in multiple times there's been shit with Harden. And people hated the double step back. People hated him getting the free throw line and doing the jumping into people, getting shots, whatever. But we see players like a Curry that we love so much that implements his double step back and it doesn't get called. And he likes to jump into people still and they'll still give him the call. And it's cool because Curry, he shoots from freaking 30 feet out. So we love it. So why is it such a bad thing for one player to do it, but when another player does it but gets away with it, everybody's like cool with it?
Curry don't do no flopping, dog.
Yeah, I think the flopping is the answer.
He loves to make people get on people on the pump fake and jump into him. That's a cheap foul.
Look, everybody across the league flops some.
Yeah,
I don't think that's a
know.
debate. Harden was notorious for just going straight down the middle of the lane, and as soon as somebody runs into him, makes any contact, both arms go up in the air like this, and the ball goes like 20 feet into the stands.
Yeah.
It's like you're not even trying to play
He's
basketball.
not trying to score.
And it was
I don't know if
such
it
a
was
part
always
of his
that
game.
bad. Of course, he had
Not
some
every
of those,
play,
but a lot of those were just him getting some some contact on the layup
free
and
throw
doing it too.
attempts in 2019.
You said what?
He had 800 free throw attempts in 2019.
So that's 10 a game.
About 10 a game.
Okay.
And I'm not sure
It's
how
not
many
bad.
games, but I'm not sure how many games he played, so we have to look.
It's around 10 11 probably is
If
what he
plays
was
70
averaging per
games,
game.
and it's like
Yeah.
11 more so, but yeah.
It's not that bad.
I think
That's a great thing to be able to get his line 10 times a game.
No, bro.
You should want your best player to do that.
That's the most in NBA history, though. Like,
Now you should.
or
He's
like
right. You should. But I think I made a great point in that he's the only one that saw such a drastic impact from the rule change.
Right.
Like that's wild. There's
I don't
other
know if
guy.
he's the only one.
KD goes to the line like crazy too. You didn't see his points drop off.
I don't know if he's the only one, and to remove the fact that he's playing point guard on this team this last season, it kind of like it should change that whole perspective. If he was still with Houston and being the main guy of the score getter, and then we seen that drop off, I feel like it would make more sense for y'all to say that.
But look,
his whole position and role on his team is different than what he was in the past.
When he
guard
went to Philly,
yeah,
he was playing point guard still, but it wasn't the same as Brooklyn where you got three massive scorers.
Yeah.
Joel puts up points, and he's the number one option for sure.
Yeah.
But in the playoffs and in that later part of the season,
real passive.
there was like he
passive.
didn't want to score. It looked like it was wild.
He's been playing with a bad hamstring half the season.
No, that's
not
true.
gonna give him
That's
outs, but just to put perspective on the situation,
It's
he
true.
was playing hurt. You can't move like he used to do. That's why he was slow as he was. Wasn't able to get people off the dribble as much as he could. He didn't have the legs. What you want the man to do?
I am interested to see how it goes this year with Philly again because it still seems like a great duo.
Yeah,
It still
should
seems
work
like
out.
him and Embiid should feed off of each other and be able to complement super well.
Yeah.
So hopefully with him healthy, him being with Embiid takes my hate meter from here to here. I can't hate him because I love Embiid. I want them to win, so I can't cheer against Harden.
Right. I want Embiid to win. I mean, I like Embiid as a personality, but to me, I feel like
What? He ain't got no podcast though.
I mean, I just like he's a funny guy when he
does.
speaks and
Probably
stuff.
gonna be hilarious.
He shoots
Should, bro.
he shoots shit straight. I fuck with him because of that. But I still believe that Harden will never win a championship, and I'm of the belief that Embiid will never win one as well too. Just by the way he plays the game.
Not a very strong take. I mean, it's a reasonable take to have.
Yeah, there's not.
I
want Celtics to win. Fuck Philly. But I mean, never get there.
I got a legit belief by the style of which basketball he plays. he won't win a championship because of that, not because I'm rooting for someone.
Why not Embiid?
I just think
I'm with you on Harden, but
I think he's too slow to like. I don't know. I don't think it can necessarily go through your big man if your big man plays the game like he does to win a championship in this era of basketball. This fast pace up and down the court. He does stretch
extremely specific category that you put him in.
I think the best argument is because he can't stay healthy very well.
That's the only one I would make.
Well, I mean, I think even when he's healthy, I can't see it. But I mean,
he's healthy. He's an MVP candidate.
I mean, when I
talk about MVPs.
Over the last 10 years, there's only been a couple teams that have won a championship, so you can make that claim towards a lot of players and probably be right. So I'm not arguing with it, but I do agree that's not like the hottest take.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not saying it's a hot take. It's just
the closest it was last year. And
I've always had this thought though about Embiid.
That the year against Kawhi might have been the
closest.
That was
the
closest they got.
That was. I remember. I was.
That shot.
That shot was fucking nuts, man.
They were losing, right? It wasn't just tied.
No, it was down.
They were losing, so they're a tenth of a second away from being in the championship.
Shit bounced all around the fucking room.
Yeah,
nuts.
It was unbelievable. And that was a Game 7.
Yeah.
Imagine
that's
that.
what I'm saying. They were so close to a championship.
In that situation, that's okay to cry.
Oh shit!
You can cry. Go ahead.
He did though.
Let it all out.
He did cry. He was boo crying.
Yeah, let it all out. I'm fine with that. You can't control that kind of shit. You gotta. I mean, hey, it's either that or somebody fighting. You know. That's it.
Well, we keep it with teams that aren't winning the championship. You said you had what was the update with the Lakers? Russ and AD and LeBron decided we're gonna make this work.
They got on a group phone call and said they was committing to each other to stay with the Lakers and go try and win this chip.
Now they're committed.
Now, after this
good
season.
time.
Yeah, I mean,
good time to decide that we're
man.
committed. Now that we can't find a star that will come and sign with us, and we can't find anybody to take this contract, let's commit to each other.
That's all you've been hearing the last 2 weeks is how they been trying to get rid of Russ for Kyrie every single day. And they was all right, man. Couldn't find that trade. We gotta make this shit work, y'all.
That shit is so nuts, son.
Yeah, I mean, they're too old, man. That's just what it is. LeBron wants to have a team of all his peers and shit instead of like what it really needs to be is youth. You have to have a mixture of both, and the Lakers just haven't done a good job of doing that. They haven't done a good job of developing the players that they have brought in through the draft or via free agency or whatever like that. I have a hard time believing the Lakers would even really make the playoffs, honestly. And if they do, I put them at the 7th seed.
I think they make the playoffs this year because I don't expect LeBron to be hurt. And miss as many games as he did last year.
But this is 20.
That's really all it comes down to is if LeBron and AD stay healthy, they're definitely in the playoffs.
But look what you asking for.
Yeah, the AD part.
It's a stretch.
The AD part
but they both was hurt for like 60 games
AD
last season.
is not going to stay healthy though. He's not. That's just one thing he's never done in his career is stay healthy for an entire season. And LeBron
they won championships. So.
We know LeBron for being this fucking machine to where he's going to play all of these games and all of these minutes. Okay, he could do that, but he's still a human, like, in reality. Right. And this is his 20th NBA season.
Bro, did you see him in the Drew League last week?
Yeah, did you see that?
Did you see that?
Yeah, he looks great. I'm not saying LeBron can't play or any shit like. Of course, but I'm talking about 82 games. He's not going to play the whole season anymore. It's not going to happen. I don't think. You shouldn't expect the LeBron.
He'll take some rest games for sure.
I think he's going to get hurt. We shouldn't expect the LeBron that we've always seen.
I don't care what that sounds like.
But just being the reality of it, like how many people have played 20 seasons in the NBA?
No, you're 100% right on this. I agree with you.
Kareem Abdul.
I agree with you. Kareem.
Kobe.
Yeah, Kareem needed magic
19 or something like that.
To carry him, I mean, to get like, I don't think.
Hey, it's something with the Lakers.
Did Kareem win these championships?
Something with the Lakers. They got
before? He had one with the Bucks.
With the Bucks, yeah.
He did.
But that was young Kareem. He had won with the Lakers though.
He hadn't won no championships.
Not before Magic got there. Magic came and they started winning championships.
Sure.
Yeah, I think
Kareem
that
was
is true.
older
Yeah.
at that point in time.
Right.
He can carry a team, and I do think LeBron can still carry a team, but it's like
But
that
they
shit
have-
has to be in spurts.
They've
now.
got a bad team.
Yeah,
They don't have
right.
a good built team.
Right.
We thought that might be an issue. We saw it happen all last year. Just don't think it happens.
That's why they need those guys all to be healthy, because they can't have them not be playing and think they're gonna win games.
Yeah, and even if they say they all stayed 100% healthy, they all play 82 games.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't see them as a championship team.
It's hard for me to not say they would have a chance for a championship when you got LeBron on the team.
I have a chance is cool. I don't see them as a top 3 seed with everybody healthy.
They beat Golden State.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I don't think it happens.
Phoenix has all their guys back. They seem to be running it back.
I think Dallas will be a better team.
I don't know. It's hard to say coming off of last year because they were so bad.
Yeah, we just leaving off that last season. It's hard to make any type of. But I'm not doubting them at all. Them having a chance to win the championship if everybody's healthy. I'm not gonna put no doubt on that.
I told you.
I
they
bet
got
my
that
life
one
against-
because of the bubble. But the Lakers are in for it. They made the ultimate decision to ship off all of their youth and young talent.
Still standing on this.
I had this stance when it happened. I hated
feel
the
you.
move.
But the stance is over once they won that championship, though.
Yeah,
like they
but-
still got a ring out of this situation.
Again, yeah, right, and that made it worth it. But again,
Hey, what?
that's the asterisk.
What?
That's the asterisk
What did it
championship. Nobody remembers the bubble
Say what
championship.
you just said again. It did what?
That makes it worth it, I guess. Sure.
I
That
guess
was
it.
my argument when it happened. If they win a championship off of it, cool. But they're going to suffer for years to come. And I think last year was just the start of it. That's how I feel. I feel like I don't know if they make the playoffs again. They might be in the play-in.
I would say they
don't think
continue to compound. They don't make good decisions.
Yeah.
I like the AD move. I think it worked. They got the championship out of it.
COVID worked.
Once they panicked, and I don't want to say panicked, they thought bringing in Westbrook was really going to work, and I just don't think it has any chance of working.
The
And now
Lakers,
they're on the hook for him for, is it just this year? Think he might be a free agent next year?
who? LeBron?
Russ?
Yeah, it's just one more season. But the
LeBron
Lakers,
already
I don't
talking
know
about
if this
going
gonna
other
sound
places.
wild to say, but the Lakers are like the Knicks of the West Coast. The difference between the Lakers and the Knicks is that they had Kobe, Magic, Kareem, and LeBron on their teams.
So what's the comparison?
So it's like they even if they gave up them young players, they know they can always get people to come to LA because it's
yeah.
LA.
Yeah, I'm with
it's
you
the
on that.
Lakers.
I'm
You know,
with you
people
on
want to play for the Lakers just because
Yeah.
it's the Lakers.
Yeah.
So they don't need to like, oh, I need to build up players from the draft and keep these young guys. But I can get any star player if they're a free agent. They're gonna look at coming to us.
Oh, but you about
Yes,
to-
that's
you
how
about
you
to-
sell tickets,
about to
but that's
start
not how
this
you
whole-
sustain wins or winning franchise year after year.
It's hard to say that when they have 17 chips.
Yeah, that's a tough
They're
argument.
one of the most winningest
But
champions
no,
of all time.
look how they got them. They built
All
teams.
of them was like that.
No, bro, they drafted. They didn't.
They drafted Magic.
They-
They
They
traded for
drafted
Kobe.
Magic. They
drafted
they
Kobe.
drafted
Shaq.
Kobe.
In essence, they
They
drafted
drafted
Kobe.
Kobe. They traded for Shaq, yeah, for sure. But
That's a big
they
deal.
even won
Traded for
championships.
Kareem.
They won championships after Shaq. Why? Because they drafted players
Because
to
you had
come in
Kobe.
there.
I named the guys why they've been the team
It
that they
wasn't just
are.
because you had Kobe. Kobe needed Powell and Odom. They built
Guys
the
that they
team
traded
around
for.
them.
They traded for all those
Well,
guys.
look, all I'm saying is ultimately,
That's
bro,
what they do. Is LA? They can bring the guys that they want to get there.
they haven't done that in a while. So I mean, or
They
just
just
going
did it
forward.
with LeBron AD, and they got a chip off of it again. They literally just did it.
Nobody remembers that. Nobody is going to remember. That is the bubble championship. They remember
I
it.
think he's kind of bodying you right now.
Yeah, but they literally just did it again before our eyes. They got LeBron and AD
No.
and won another chip. Wow, it
No.
worked again for the Lakers. 17 chips.
I'm just saying it's going to be a drop for them for a long time. That's just the reality.
Hopefully so.
What they've dug themselves into. They got a bunch of old players. They have- all these guys were like 35 plus. I mean, AD's kind of young, but he's still like what 30.
He's late 20s.
Got the body of an old
Late
man,
30s.
though.
Yeah, right. So I don't know. I don't believe in their philosophy that they currently are pushing right now. I think
Yeah, you just hate game.
Yeah, but they're committed now.
they've always had a piece that they've gotten through the draft that they built around. They don't have that on the roster at all. So that argument that you have doesn't work without that piece. They had Kobe. They had Magic. These are pieces
and
that
then they got LeBron and won a championship. Like you remove. I'm talking about just getting one of these biggest in the league guys
I'm
and
talking
winning
about
a championship off of
success.
that's been their thing since the fucking 70s.
Not for sustained success year after year. That's what I'm talking about. That's what they did with Kobe. That's what they did with Magic.
After Kobe
can't
left,
do that
what happened?
with LeBron.
After Kobe retired, what happened? Even before Kobe retired, what happened? They was bad. Then they had to go through bad years. Then they had to get another superstar again, and they win another chip.
Yeah,
if it keeps working for them, they're not gonna stop doing it.
But I'm saying the formula that was working for them, they don't have right now. Yeah. They don't have that same formula. They're trying to do something different. This shit doesn't work.
So you thought like Kuzma and Lonzo was gonna be their Kobe? They was gonna build around that.
Kuzma, Lonzo, Kobe. Kuzma, Lonzo. Brandon Ingram, all of these guys are good. Jordan Clarkson, Julius Randle, all these guys are great players elsewhere.
Yeah, but a generational player out of any
they
of
were
those
all
guys.
they were all a part of the team and they sucked.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
was there. They seen it. They seen what they did together.
But I don't think that wasn't. It clearly wasn't a player problem. It was an organization problem.
Yeah, that's my point.
They're bad at developing talent.
I agree with that.
They're terrible at it. They're the worst team in the NBA at developing youth because all of these guys went elsewhere and became the player that they were supposed to be coming out the draft. Even guys like Jordan Clarkson.
But they got the ring that when they did.
What was the other point guard that played for
the main goal was to get the chip.
That's pretty good. D'Angelo Russell. Yeah. They're terrible.
They drafted a hell of a group of players.
These guys are good players.
Yeah.
They were never good enough for the Lakers, though.
No.
They went elsewhere
and
became...
Do you know why? Because the Lakers is about hanging more banners. They ain't they gonna fill this. The seat's gonna be filled in the Staples Center or what is it? The crypto center now. The seats gonna be filled regardless, just like in the Garden. But they chase to go get championships.
I'll go with your analogy.
They gotta go get championships, so they don't care about building up a team and having a good team that does pretty good in the playoff. No, they're looking about, we need to find a way to win a chip next year. That's what their goals are.
I don't think
that's why they got the most chips. Right, that's what they do.
I don't think that's what their goal is right now.
Tie for the most chips. Let's make that clear.
Yeah, I don't think that's what their goal is right. Their goal is always to pack the seats, but I don't think they're trying to win a championship with their current approach.
Yeah, they probably don't even want one.
Yeah.
All right, that's enough Lakers. That's enough Lakers, man. Enough Lakers. I hope they suck. Hopefully you're right.
Speaking of, I guess, the last b-ball topic, Curry hosting the ESPYs the other night. I don't know if y'all seen any. Y'all watched
he hosted it?
I watched a little bit. Yeah, he was the host.
I didn't know the whole time?
The whole time.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's why I'm surprised y'all ain't hear nothing, watch nothing about it.
I heard that he made jokes. And that was all I heard. Listening to some podcast today, but I don't know anything about the ESPYs.
I've always now understood. Well, I kind of understand it, but I understand more so now why Draymond is the mouthpiece for the Warriors, because the jokes that Clay and Curry be trying to get off, I know they probably wrote all these jokes for him on this shit.
Yeah,
but the delivery of them was just horrible. Like he's not good at this. He's not good at trash talking.
I could see that.
He's not good at getting jokes off. It's just not his. You can tell it's not naturally his thing. I think he's just naturally a nice guy. Yeah. So he just has to be a nice guy.
Yeah.
Getting these dirty jokes off, cracking on people, it's just not. They didn't hit.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I don't think it was fantastic. I don't think you gotta have a timing and stuff like that.
No, it's no sense of delivery at all.
I don't think the jokes were terrible though. They were good. I think
Joe's got a bad
the audience reaction wasn't like.
Yeah,
great.
But that's your job.
That's what you need.
That's your job.
If the audience ain't reacting to you, then you ain't hitting.
So I mean,
he strikes me as like a monotone, just chill kind of dude.
Yeah.
I feel like to get the laughs and really deliver jokes that the ESPYs have been funny a few times. Some of the ones that I watched in the past, but you got to be kind of animated. Yeah, charismatic's a good word. I don't see that as his strong suit.
No, it wasn't
at all.
That's not surprising.
I didn't. I mean, I thought some of the jokes kind of hit a little bit, but at the same time, I was like, it's a big cringe.
Yeah,
it is
really cringe.
I would say, but they won the best team.
Warriors did. Who was in the category?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I'm trying to think.
Probably them, the Rams. I don't know who else, but they won.
Makes sense. He also got, I think, best athlete or something. I was like, oh, I see why you're hosting. You're just getting all the awards. They knew they didn't give him all the awards. So why don't you host this for us?
Oh, you got best athlete?
Yeah, something like that. One of those joints.
I mean,
when I seen the category come up, I was like, oh, Curry's gonna win this. It's kind of obvious that I think he was gonna win that shit.
He should, man. That dude's great.
He had a great year.
Man, they'll have a great year next year as well too because they built it the right way.
What were you telling us about Asante Samuels?
Asante Samuels. Oh, he was on the I'm Athlete podcast this week, chopping it up with the guys, and out the gate, it was just straight like Bill Belichick disrespect for like the first 15, 20 minutes. They came out and asked him, just like, all right, I guess it's the debate they got to have with any person that comes from the Patriot organization. Sure. Who is it, Tom Brady or Bill Belichick that keeps the shit going? And he was saying just straight up, like, dog, it's Tom. Every point was just based on Tom. Like, yeah, Bill was there. He did this. He was like, before he came to the Patriots, who was Bill Belichick? Yeah, he won a championship as a defensive coordinator. Like, that's who he was then. Don't say that he won nothing and then bring up he won a championship being a defensive coordinator for Bill Parcells. That's who he was. He was
but he also had the best defender of all time.
Sure, of course.
So let's be real about that.
That's like saying Phil Jackson had Jordan, so he won Phil Jackson.
I'm just saying though.
And he hopped on Kobe.
Yeah, look. I'm just saying.
Funny.
Lawrence Taylor, he won the MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and the Super Bowl the same season, and had 20 sacks. Shit like that just don't happen for all coaches. You get what I'm saying? Like, he got lucky.
Sure.
So let's be real about that.
So do you think Bill's overrated?
I don't personally. I think slightly maybe. He got lucky to have Tom Brady for sure, but he drafted him at the same time. So whatever you want to say after that, it is what it is. But I think there's possibly better coaches out there than Bill Belichick. Sure. They just don't have the necessary accolades to be in the conversation. So
yeah, I agree with that. It was a lot of disrespect. At any point, like the only person that was even like trying to hold down Bill points was Brandon Marshall. Everybody else is kind of on the side. It's Tom. It's hard to. Of course, I've always been on the side of that argument. Like, you got to give Tom a little bit more credit in that situation over Bill, but at the same time, you still needed Bill.
Yeah,
like,
I think it's a stupid argument.
Everybody's he came in to the Patriots. They had all these Hall of Fame pieces on defense. Of course, that defense is going to be good. It's like, yeah, but he was the defensive guy, so he was the reason why that defense was elite those first 4 or 5 years he was there. So you got to put that into context. Tom Brady don't play both sides of the ball, man. He's He's one of the greatest ever. But you still have to have a defense come on that field and do something.
He did immediately go to a team and won them a Super Bowl, though.
Who's that?
Tom Brady did.
Yeah, he did.
He immediately went to another team.
Sure did. A team that was fucking stacked with guys.
Yeah, no doubt. But I mean, almost to that, it just kind of proves the point that it's more Tom than Bill.
It's not. I don't think that's a fair proof of point.
I think so. I mean, what other more concrete piece of information?
So Bill got to go win a championship with Cam on his first season after losing one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. He got to go win a championship to prove that it wasn't Brady, it was me.
They didn't even make the playoffs. So
take the two of them out of the equation. Do you think a quarterback or a coach has a bigger impact on a team being great in general?
Has a bigger impact. I'm always going to say the player has the most impact because they have to go on the field and play.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
But at the same time,
like, they're both necessary.
The coach is the authority over all the decisions that are made. So any decision that's made, even if you do got a Brady, like, he's not necessarily going to trump Bill's decision on it, though. I wouldn't think. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's still making a decision on what's going to happen, who's on the team, who's in the lineups, all this shit. He's still the source of all that.
Yeah, right. They can call the plays, but that's it. But after the play is called, anything can happen. Now you're just waiting for players to make plays.
That's true.
Like, that's the thing about it, because the play you call might not actually work, but a great player can make that shit work. He can make that defensive tackle miss the tackle real quick when that shit really should have been blown up in the backfield or something, and then sprint off for 30 yards to a touchdown. That's so that's something that that coaches can't control. So it's always the player for me.
That's why I don't like the debate. It's like there's only a certain percentage that the coach really could do.
Like, right.
It is
go out there and play.
All of the greatest coaches that you think about across any sport, the majority of them had the best player.
Right. Stephen Kerr is considered a great coach because of what? Steve Kerr is considered a great coach
because Stephen Kerr.
Whatever. I'm sure that's his real name.
It definitely is. But no, that's a great point. Him, Phil Jackson, Jordan, Kobe. Yeah. Like they go together. Yeah. So I don't know. I
Probably won no championships since Tim Duncan got up out of there. You know what I'm saying? Right. Just let's be real about it.
You can only do so much to coach the team without having a legend to execute what you've put out there.
That's true.
Or even more so than that. But they go beyond executing the play. You get what I'm saying?
To play devil's advocate,
they make you
still need a superior coach to keep that team consistent every season.
Yeah.
Like, teams got these players, but it's hard to keep a team consistent. Like, the years Brady was down, we were still a playoff team. We were still in the mix of everything. It won't,
Y'all didn't make
we failed when he went, what?
Y'all didn't make the playoffs.
We didn't. We went 11-6 that year. But still, it was like
11-5.
It's the same difference. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, he still put us in the mix of just being a coach and having Matt Castle at the helm.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like, so that's a hard thing to do. Like, if we was horrible when he went down, he was never able to get us back in the mix. Like, we're 2 years removed from Brady, and we was a playoff team again. We're back in playoffs, back in the mix again with a rookie quarterback. Like, you still have to have things set in stone with a coach that's going to demand that from your team to keep you consistently in the mix of fighting for whatever you fight for.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that's my point, though, is that they're both necessary. Yeah. You can't have one without the other.
No Joe Schmo can get up off of his couch and coach a team to the fucking Super Bowl. That's not going to happen. You're going to make some fucking mistakes. Probably more than that, or just managing egos and shit like that. I think it's more so about, instead of like the X's and O's, which I mean, of course, are important, but it's just managing egos and shit.
I was going to say the same thing.
That shit is huge.
Great coach is really just a great manager.
Yeah, that's it.
Just making decisions, putting people in the best place for success. Mm-hmm. And basketball, it's rotation shit.
Yep.
Getting somebody off the floor, making an adjustment here. I don't know. I'm not a. I don't know enough about professional sports, but I don't feel like you're saying, like the X's and O's. I don't know how much of that is really like honestly, the biggest part of what they're doing.
One of the best coach, or one of the best coaches in the NFL is probably Kyle Shanahan. But with Jimmy Garoppolo taking snaps, you're not going to see that. You know what I'm saying? And I know people do kind of recognize
at the same time they've been to the NFC Championship 2 out of the last 3 years.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
That's pretty good. You gotta have a good coach to be able to do that. With Garoppolo.
Right, exactly. But I'm saying it would elevate him to another level if he had somebody else throwing a rock. You know? Like, that's what he needs. Sure. That's why they went up there and traded for Trey Lance. They needed somebody dynamic at that position. So
great backup quarterback.
No, Jimmy Garoppolo's about to get traded. They said I mean, I don't know. It's gonna be for some pennies probably, but Trey Lance about to get his chance, and I think he's gonna shine, man, for sure.
I think he's gonna be solid. I just making fun of you.
Like,
anything else that he said that you thought was really noteworthy? Or
I'm trying to remember real quick when he was breaking down DBs and just breaking down, like, I think he had like 50 picks in his career or some shit like that, which is crazy.
It's Asante Samuels we're talking about?
Yeah, Asante Samuels.
His son's in the league now.
Yep.
Asante Samuels
talking about him too.
Plays for the Chargers.
Yep. But he was just breaking down like how he approached the game and shit. Like, even when he was with the Patriots, he's like, he ain't with all that extra shit. He's like, I want to gamble in the locker room. I ain't trying to stay in practice. I fuck all that practice shit. He's like, I'm leaving early. He's like, I'm the last one in. I'm the first one out. He's like, I'm doing like, he's like, I'm me at the end of the day. I know what I bring to the table. And he's like, that's why I think I should be in the conversation of the 5 best DBs of all time, or some shit like that. Just based on, because he says the most important stat on defense is takeaways. And when you leading and have some of the most picks of all time under your stats, that should put you in that caliber. And he was like, a lot of disrespect to like Revis and shit. He was like, yeah, all right. Well, what's the great thing about Revis, though? Y'all talking about, what did he do great?
So it's not very surprising that he had the take that he had on Bill.
Right. He's like, I'll do this wherever I go. He had that type of mentality.
Yeah, not surprising.
He's one of those talents. He was a great player, so, I understand him feeling that way. I thought it was odd.
Hey, I don't really have much to add to that.
Yeah, that's it.
Me neither.
That's it.
Y'all want to talk about these Madden ratings?
Now, can we come back to it at the end?
Yeah,
Because we actually have taken we spent a lot of time on that other stuff. Just touch on some of those other non-sports things, and then we can fill in the end if we need to.
What you got?
I mean, relatively small stuff. I don't
Music
think there was a lot. That Desus and Mero thing was wild to me.
Yeah.
Just that they're I don't want to say they're breaking up.
I said the
But
same
the
thing.
show is coming
show
to
is
an
over.
end or whatever, and they appear to be kind of splitting.
Yeah.
I don't even think that there's a lot of information out right
It's
now.
not.
It's like what's going on. It's just wild.
I was trying to watch. Mero went on Mav Hoffa's podcast.
I was watching that when you.
I was trying to watch different clips.
I didn't
of
know
it.
which was.
But he didn't really even go into detail about what the issue.
I don't
is or
think
what
they're
happened.
gonna address anything real loud about it.
They was all real PC about it. I don't know, but the shit that he was hitting on was like the friend aspect. Because of course you would look at Desus and Mero, you think, oh, these are the best of friends. They had to be best friends forever. The way they talking,
because they bounce
the way
off
they
each
do on
other
TV.
so
It's like-
much.
But there's a difference between what y'all seeing on camera and shit behind the cameras is not on the camera.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, we are totally different people. He's like, I came from the streets. Like,
Yeah.
I was the hood dude out of the dark. He's like, Desus is a computer guy. He's like an internet computer, smart math type of guy. He's like, we're totally different people off the camera. So we don't share the same things or like the same things that we would do. But we both know how to talk shit. So that's what we bonded over. That's what our common place was. So we can talk shit about lots of different stuff. So that kind of made me think, oh, it's probably something behind the scenes where it's like they might have like a little beef or something. You never know what it is.
Yeah, I mean it's total speculation here, but to me, I would. My speculation is like Desus wants to like go more
Behind the scenes, probably.
I was thinking more like mainstream, like the Showtime kind of thing.
Well, they was on Showtime.
Right. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Is I feel like his goals are more to be like a mainstream, bigger type of personality. Where Mero's like, I want to talk shit. Like when we had our own show and we're putting it up on YouTube, we could do whatever we wanted. I
Yeah.
thought it's funny that
Actually, the way Mero was explaining it in that clip, he was like, it was the other way around. Like,
He
Desus
said he had
didn't
a
want
long
to
term.
expand and do other shit. Mero was trying to take every bag he can get.
I don't know
Some
if this
shit.
explains it any better. The first appearance for Mero after this happens is on Math Hoffa's podcast, to my knowledge.
I think so.
And I believe I saw Desus as a guest on Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Like that's the
see
kind
that.
of thing I'm thinking.
Okay.
I could be totally wrong, but
I
it
mean,
just
they had their own late night show. They literally had a late night
the
show.
Showtime thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just it
weird.
kind of sucks to see because I haven't been watching them for a while.
I haven't
Once
either.
they went to Showtime, I quit watching. I used to watch it on YouTube. I think when they were at Complex.
Yeah.
But
Man,
I don't know. I hate to
how
see
long
a
do you
duo
expect
end.
stuff like that to stay together? Like,
Everything was coming to an
it's
end.
not gonna happen.
Some point.
Like, I think once you get into one of those type of relationships, you should know like eventually we're gonna split down the road here. It's logical.
Yeah.
we seen them for. I mean, what the fuck? These motherfuckers not married. You know, it's like Key and Peele. They're doing completely different things. One of these motherfuckers is shooting horror films now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like one of the best to do it. So I think
It's just one of those inevitable things.
right. It's gonna happen.
No, I agree 100%. I worry about the. I don't want to say worry about it, but this is gonna happen to Schulz at some point.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It already has. Cass.
Yeah.
But just overall, yeah.
I mean,
he's just gonna get too
100% did, and it is the exact same situation where it just kind of went in two different areas. But like, I have one other podcast that part of my take, and it's two main dudes, and like both my two favorite podcasts. I know at some point that's gonna end. Like at some point they're gonna get to just an older point in their life.
Who you think gonna leave? Akash? You think Akash is gonna leave?
Possibly. I mean, I don't know. I don't have a prediction on like how it ends, but just say it's 8 years from now. Say it's 2 years from now. Just at a certain point, it's like maybe Schulz is like, I've become so big, it just makes more sense that I have to keep my schedule. And hopefully, Akash has grown into this like
Akash popping out
major comedian too, where it's like it just doesn't make sense for us to continue to keep the same schedule. Like kind of like Brilliant Idiots. Like, there's not anything wrong with it, but it's just like we've both gotten so big, our priority can't be this thing that we started together anymore.
I mean, but they're still doing it though.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I think eventually it happens.
I think because I think I seen in the recent episode and they was talking about it, like just this topic. I've seen Schulz and Akai say so much about like how they try to hold their friendship above the business that they're in with each other.
Yeah,
which is a tough thing to do, especially when you start making good money. Like, you know, it might come in the way of things. But since they're so stuck on that, I think if they was to not do the podcast no more, I don't think they wouldn't be friends no more.
Yeah,
I think they would just choose the friendship.
It doesn't mean it has to end on bad terms.
I agree with
it. Doesn't mean it has to end on bad terms or nothing, but just like logically, you guys would look at each other and say like, "Why we don't need to do this anymore."
But at the same time, it's like I feel like Flagrant is like their bread and butter though. Like that's like their main
right now
centerpiece where they can always come back to type shit.
Yeah, maybe.
And they've been doing it and going on tour. Both of them throughout the year. They're still making it work. They do shows on the weekends.
Maybe it doesn't end.
What if fucking Schulz gets a fucking TV deal or some shit where
he's had them.
Or some major deal where he's hosting a show.
He could be like
night after night, and he can't put. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
I
gonna
don't
be
think he wants to do that though. I don't see him wanting to do that.
You never know what can happen down the line.
He can have a whole network or something.
Right.
He's like the head of a comedy network, and it's not like I don't want to do this anymore, but just life and priorities change. He's mentioned a few times on random podcasts, like wanting to have a family.
Yeah, he gonna have kids.
Wanting to have kids. Yeah. It sounds like he's really talking about wanting to have kids relatively soon. It could just be like I'm 50 years old.
Right.
And like my life is different. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying they're gonna have like this nasty split up, but just it's hard to imagine anybody getting set in something when they're 30 years old and doing it the rest of their lives. At some point it comes to an end, and it just when it does, it's like, oh, that sucks that it's over, but it's just natural.
I think it depends. Have you seen the special?
No. So I bought the special. I don't really care about stand-up comedy like that.
It's weird every time I hear you say that.
When I watch it, I enjoy it. But like when the Chappelle specials, every time they dropped, like I caught one or two of them. I haven't watched all those. I like podcasts.
Yeah.
I like comedy podcasts. I like listening to comedians just shoot the shit and be funny on the spot. I enjoy comedy. Like I think it's funny when I watch a special, but I'm never running to go watch a special. So I bought it because I had to support the guy. I don't think we talked about this at all. It was like $15.
Okay.
So he had Andrew Schulz putting out a comedy special. Had some deal with some major network. Hasn't said what it was. Mm-hmm. They decided they wanted him to cut a couple of the jokes. They were a little bit too much. He said he didn't want to. Bought the special back with his own money and put it up on his own website. He apparently a couple days ago said that they have tripled their money back already. And I think it had been less than a week at that point.
Fire.
Yeah.
So really cool just because I like him, but cool because it kind of goes along with a lot of the stuff that we've talked about with music and different forms of entertainment, where if you can kind of build yourself up to a certain level and develop such a strong core fan base,
you got the fans,
that you can start to make more of these independent moves. Independence and ownership and shit is such a popular topic. I kind of enjoy getting to see it in a practical sense of watching somebody take over and say, I'm going to do things the way I want to and be successful at it. He seems to be like, I know, you know how you get in your own algorithm and you may not know about some other stuff that's going on that's really big. From what I see, he seems to be like the greatest trajectory comedian active right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can't think of anybody else that I would like place above him in his same like, I don't know, like current.
He's like a trailblazer.
Where he's at in his career right
he's doing
now.
A lot of shit that everybody are doing now. He's like one of the first to do that.
Yeah,
putting the shit online, doing the clip shit, doing the YouTube shit, putting specials out on YouTube. Like that was like an anomaly to do. You won't wasting your special on the YouTube.
I see
trying to get with a company.
I do see him as like the future of comedy a bit. Yeah. I mean, I don't really like white comedians. There's only been a couple that I like. It's George Carlin and Schulz.
Like Bill Burr?
Sometimes.
He put out a new special last week. It's pretty good.
Bill Burr's funny. He's funny. Bill Burr's funny.
He's wild, dude.
But I wouldn't think of him.
He's got a black wife. If that helps you think he's funny.
Oh, you know what? You know who actually is my favorite white comedian? No, because you said black wife. Gary Owens. That guy's fucking hilarious.
Gary
I think
Owens, yeah.
he don't get enough love.
OG.
He's fucking hilarious.
He's funny,
but he's a different. He's like that. He plays off the white corniness.
Yeah,
funny
he got kind of played
Schulz
out.
is just like himself. Like I'm a fucking New Yorker.
I'm gonna say the wildest shit.
He say whatever the fuck he want, and that's the comedy I like. It's just like people exposing the truth and just saying like, oh, it happens to be funny, and I can see him down the line, like him getting a little bit like more preachy. That's kind of what happens to comedians down the line, or speech.
That does seem to be like
oriented. George Carlin, it happened to him, and like Dave Chappelle, of course, is what we're watching now was pretty much that. I see that for Andrew Schulz in like, we're talking about 20 years from now, but I do see that coming.
He's great with words, man. Motherfucker can talk.
Right.
Well, you could just talk and just get off good shit, and it's content and it's compelling, and you can just talk for hours. Like, you gonna get that shit off.
Yeah.
It's gonna keep on getting better and better the more you do it.
I think that all these comedians that you're talking about, and like any of the other ones that are considered to be the greats, it always amazes me just how much they are themselves always. Mm-hmm. Like I've watched Schulz on so many different podcasts this week because he's doing a whole press run for the show, and it's just everywhere. Like he pops into their world, but there's no difference at all.
Right.
Like this is who he is, and they kind of adjust to him to do the rest of the pod. And this is the same stuff with Chappelle, and Bill Burr specifically is like very Bill Burr. Wherever he goes, they kind of adjust to him. It's not like I'm going to change to fit your podcast.
You're never going to tone yourself down for a
Not
platform.
at all, son. Schulz be saying some crazy stuff on these other people's podcasts.
But, yeah, I started watching that No Jumper joint he was on.
Yeah, that was good.
He was tripping on that.
He really wanted to know about the gang life so much. He's like, so man, that's crazy, man. You got shot, dude. That shit was crazy.
So funny.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's great for Schulz, man. Hopefully, I like I said, I don't see a ceiling for him yet. He's just kind of scratching the surface of what he can do.
Once I seen The Rock post his special,
that's
crazy.
He's out of here.
Son. He's fucking out of here.
I didn't know that till
The Rock got like 160-something million people following him.
Right. Yeah, that's next level. Shout out to Schulz. I'm gonna watch the special. I do laugh. I enjoy it when I watch it, but every time I got free time, I'm like, oh, Schulz is on another podcast. And I watch that podcast instead of the special. Like, he would probably hate that if I met him, but it is what it is, man.
I was thinking it's going to be a lot of the same jokes, but obviously he has I think I seen him last year when the infamous tour first started.
I thought it was this past year.
No, it was last year.
Oh, but it was the same tour.
It's the same tour.
Yeah.
But
it probably is stuff.
He's added more jokes, obviously, in that year. So it's been...
And the funny thing about like seeing a comedian, you forget a lot of that shit. Like a lot of the jokes that they told, especially if you saw the shit live.
Right.
You can't like recall a bunch of the jokes that maybe one sticks out, but
that's the hardest part with a stand up.
Yeah,
this stand up was hilarious. I couldn't tell you nothing
what he said. Yeah, you spend a lot of time laughing and shit, you know. Yeah. So I think it'll still be a good experience. Like that.
I feel like I can quote past big specials that I've seen.
Maybe a joke
like
or
Bernie
two.
Mac, Kings of Comedy,
Chris Rock. Watch those how many times?
Blacker, like
how many times? I'm talking about seeing a comedy show live one time.
Yeah, seeing it live.
That's what I'm saying. Like you watch these things. We all watch fucking the Cat Williams shit, Pimpin' or whatever it was. I forgot. It's Pimpin' or something like that.
Yeah.
We seen that shit fucking 1,000. We know a bunch of those jokes.
He got a new special out too. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. But even he has gotten like more preachy in his a little bit too.
Yeah.
I just fuck with these people so much. I feel like these comedians are so like valued because again, these are the people who say the things that need to be said, but nobody like wants to say them, like because they're in fear of what might happen next to them, and these people don't give a fuck.
But they also get like a little bit of a free pass
because they're comedians.
Yeah, all you have to do is say I'm a comedian.
It's a joke,
and there's a certain level of like, what do you expect? They're a comedian. Like stuff he says, I couldn't say. I couldn't say and not be looked at like a crazy person because I'm not using it as a form of comedy. They're like, oh, that's what he thinks.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, it's supposed to be it's still all jokes. Y'all talking about this reminds me of the Chappelle speech that he just put out of this old school that he went to. And he was making a point about how when he came back to the school and they formed like a line in front of him telling him why it had issues with the shit that he was saying about transgenders in his last special or whatever. And he was like, one thing that none of them said was it funny? Was the comedy part of it. Nobody asked about the art of it. He's like, saying all the stuff that I said and then having issues with me and removing the comedy from it is like if you was to read in the newspaper and saw a 6-foot bunny shot a man in the chest. We'll see if he does well in the morning. And it's a Bugs Bunny, but you don't tell him it's a Bugs Bunny cartoon. It's like you can't remove the satire in the situation to make it like I'm saying serious statements when I'm doing a stand-up.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, you got to push that in perspective.
They dress it up that way, but you can't tell. Right. But it is. It's just thoughts that needs to be out there, or just like like somebody has to say it. In general, and it's funny because they put a spin on it or whatever, but it doesn't hide the fact that it's the truth a lot of the time. So that's why I fuck with these people, and I think they're really important because somebody got to be around to drop the F-bomb. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Like somebody got to be around to drop that motherfucker, and it's not important that we keep that word around necessarily, but at the same time, it is because
blanking that shit out now.
It's freedom of speech, though. You know what I'm saying? Like it just, I don't know. That's how I feel. I really think their presence in the world is important.
They're a form of counterculture.
Right.
Whatever the new rules are, not really my rules.
Right. They can be the contrarian to that, and
it's.
I feel like it's just important to have that pushback. Otherwise, the shit will go so far. You know?
Yeah. Somebody has to push back.
Yeah, I think it's really important. So,
true indeed.
Yeah, that was all I had on Schulz. But music-wise, you said there was a lot of new music. I didn't listen to anything today. Didn't even look. I was busy working today, and didn't even try. So I don't even really know what dropped other than Joey Badass.
Told y'all about the M.A.C album. Yeah, M.A.C album is fire. It's pretty damn good. M.A.C's gonna give you M.A.C pretty much. It's pretty solid.
Yeah, M.A.C's consistent.
That Nardo Wick is hard.
Yeah.
Like at least the first 5 tracks on this deluxe, because he put out deluxe was like a whole 17, 18 songs or something like that. But the first 5 tracks of that new music he put out is some of the hardest opener to an album I've ever heard. Shit is just hard.
Yeah, I haven't listened to the
hard records.
album. I've heard a few singles or a few tracks off of it though. I have to listen to the album as a whole. But I've heard a couple raps from this dude recently, and the guy put some thought into his lyrics. Like as far as he wants you to think about something when he's spitting. It ain't just a bunch of bullshit. Like, I guess it could be, but at least he's throwing like some metaphors.
He's reminding
me like that in there.
He's reminding me of 21 Savage. When 21 Savage initially came out, my first take was like, this shit ain't gonna last. Can't rap. It's very simple rhyme schemes. It's not doing much. But then 21 just started making incredible albums. Like the songs just became better. And that's what I'm hearing from Nardo Wick. First few records, he's not really saying too much, not rapping about a whole lot. Beast was hard. Beast is always gonna be hard, I think, for him. The Beast just be crazy. But now he got some real crazy records on here where he's like getting into his song bag.
Yeah, I think he could be. I know 21's a pretty big artist or whatever, but talent wise, like the skill of rapping wise, he can rap better than 21 Savage.
I wouldn't go that far, but
this is my personal assessment.
Yeah,
I think Nardo Wick is a better, more talented, more skilled rapper than 21 Savage. Is like you can hear him, he enunciates his words and stuff better and clearer and stuff like that.
I think he raps better, way better than him right now.
Really?
Yeah, 21
I don't know Nardo like at all, but I like 21 way more than I ever thought I would. I like his music decent amount. I still think of him as like a bottom tier rapper. At rapping.
Yeah, right. At the skill, it
makes good songs.
It's elementary. Well, what I'm saying is like
I think he started off element. I think he's progressively gotten better.
It's hard to put somebody on the spot. Do you have any song in mind or any project or something that you're thinking of that this improvement took place?
Whatever album that Cole was on, that single, that album.
I think he has improved. I would say that. I wouldn't say that he hasn't.
That was a solid front to back album for me.
That's fair. That's fair.
But when I listen to Nardo Wick, or like specifically when I listen to that verse, I'm like, oh, this dude try to hit you with a punchline or something every other bar and shit. Like he.
This was the freestyle.
Yeah, he really try to mix it in. Like he ain't just trying to go in there and just spit 1-2 punchlines and get up out of it in a 16. No, he trying to get it in. It's just about, can you hear him saying it or whatever. But
yeah, I must not be hearing it like that. I feel like he don't be saying nothing crazy. I think he's hit the songs that he's making better.
I'm not saying that it's like super crazy on a Lil Wayne level type thing with these bars, but he putting some thought into his lyrics. That's all I'm saying. That's what I could tell. More thought than I would. And maybe it's just because initially I didn't think he was at all. It surprised me a bit. But
yes, I was exactly how I feel about 21.
No, I mean I was
like it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Did you listen to that freestyle though?
I didn't listen to that freestyle yet.
It's some bars in there.
I was trying to stay away from the XXL freestyle just shit. How they been so bad.
Well, they got like modern producers producing the beats and stuff like that. They're not doing it over cypher beats anymore.
I feel like they've been doing modern beats.
I thought they weren't using.
It's just that the rappers aren't freestyling, so it just won't good.
They do both. They get the acapella one and then they do the one over the beats. But they have somebody produce the beats for them or whatever now, instead of like a DJ just spinning the dun 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 dun. That don't work for everybody no more.
I ain't heard them do bust that out.
I'm just saying, for an example,
that's a
cypher style beat. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
They're not giving them that.
I'm gonna drop Andy up on them. Y'all go ahead and embody this.
But when I listened to it, like I was just surprised at the thought and the creativity that he had in his wordplay. I thought it was pretty good. But again,
have to listen to
the delivery is modern, so that's something that you're gonna have to deal with, is the fact that guy's mumbling, but it doesn't take away from the content for me.
Yeah, I don't think that would make a difference in how I feel, but like, cause the song, like, you gotta listen to the songs. If you can make good records, that's what's gonna propel you. Being able to get a freestyle off on a double XL, I don't think that's gonna like change your scale where you're gonna go in your career per se.
I mean, it's all about making music and making songs and stuff. But I'm talking about just the skill level right now. Yeah. Is better than 21 Savage.
I don't think that matters too much.
That's all I'm saying.
The skill level, you gotta make good records.
Yeah,
in this generation, you gotta make good records.
No, it's both though. If you want to become legendary, like that's why we talk about.
That's another conversation. I don't think he's gonna be a legend.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that necessarily. I think he's
making better songs.
But if you can blend the two and do it consistently over a period of time, you become a legend. And it's like that's why Wayne is Wayne. That's why M is M, and all of the, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's because they were able to do both. And that's why Cole is Cole.
Once you start putting that measure there, I'm not comparing none of these guys to them. I don't think none of them will ever be them. In my eyes, I don't see it.
It's just the evolution of music.
They have the capability of making good records and having a good career, but I don't think they're gonna be the next Wayne or Eminem. Or
that's just like your dad saying that nobody will be the next Rakim. It's just at some point it becomes ignorant. That's all I'm saying is because
I've been saying this for years now that we ain't gonna have another J. Cole Kendrick top 3. That's dead.
It's not.
We've done that conversation like 4 times.
I'm just saying, like, it's just natural evolution of music, and these guys got it from that. So it's just going to continue to progress.
The natural evolution of music that made people not like whole albums. Everything's single driven, so it's more power against what record that you can get people to love to play a lot. That's what this generation is. People don't even care about their albums like that no more.
I mean, they do.
Everybody worry about making a classic album. They want to have the hit record of the year.
Everything comes back, bro. What do you think? Do you think LL Cool J was worried about making a successful album, or you think he was worried about putting out a badass single back then? That's what the fuck they was doing. They was putting out singles back when in the 80s and
sounds and structure, like that type of shit. Yeah, that shit comes back.
Full
but how music is,
this shit's not changing.
The price of music, that's never going to go back to being $20 an album anymore. That's never going to be that no more.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying, like,
That's what I'm talking about.
The driving force for this shit. Like, I don't know. Back to it, Nardo Wick he's more talented than you think.
What else new music is it?
The new Ice World Vizo. Is it Vezo?
I don't know.
Ice World Vizo?
What
hard.
his name is.
Hard dude. He makes some hard music. I like his album a lot. Division put out a new record. I don't know if y'all know about Division. Signed to OVO, Army Group, half singer, half producer. Put out a new record called If I Get Caught. Shit is phenomenal. It's a phenomenal record. Y'all gotta check out the video. Shout out Maul in the video.
I saw that. Yeah, I did see that.
The record is dope. Produced by Jermaine Dupri, Brian Michael Cox, legendary people in R&B music. So
Rory is actually putting out music now.
he is.
Have you heard it?
Yeah.
Is it good?
If you like R&B, it's good.
He can sing?
I don't think you would like. No, he's not singing. He wrote the records.
Oh, okay.
And put the records together. He's not performing on it at all.
all of his music stuff is just weird to me because it seems like it's been, I don't know, it seems like he drops little nuggets but then doesn't say anything about, I'm not watching the show, so I mean, he may be talking about it a lot more now.
Yeah, he is.
But back like even when he was on JBP, he would say, I got a project coming, but like would never say anything beyond that, so I just never knew what he did.
Right.
I was like, is he a producer?
Yeah, he never really got into what I was doing.
Is he actually? I saw his name on a record today.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, is he singing? Like I had no clue what he does. So okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, put the album together. He got the produce. He got everybody involved with each record, and he wrote a lot of the records on it himself.
That's cool. I don't hate him as much as I used to.
Like the background of it all. He put it all the album together. Like Khaled. It's like the Khaled album.
R&B Khaled.
I don't know if he's gonna get on there and say, are we taking over on it?
Hopefully not.
God did.
Y'all didn't seem to care for that Haitian Scarface.
I didn't listen to
much. No.
But I mean, it makes.
Scarface.
Oh wait, that was
the first
the
day out
Kodak
record.
song.
Yeah.
No, I did listen to that.
Yeah.
First day out.
I don't care.
No.
It was alright.
Yeah.
It is weird. Like I look at it funny because it does come across as a first day out record, and it's not
talking
like
about the police. They trying to keep all on my back.
not
That's
like
not
he
a
was-
first day out record.
that's how it comes across.
The timing of it. He's talking about him just getting locked up again.
Well, no, but
Getting arrested.
that's what
They
you
keep
miss.
fucking with me.
That's
I
what
get
you
it.
miss with Kodak is that that's all of his songs is what just happened in his life. That's why people like to listen. You could literally, it's a timeline of Kodak's music. Anything that happens in his life is literally going to show
So
up.
it is a first day out record.
No, it's not. But it's what happened. That's why Drake said what he said is just like I've never heard anybody that can like have this bird's eye view of their life.
I wish Drake never put that in the story.
Well, no,
you can go back to whatever that shit Drake said 8 years ago. Like that shit is fucking.
It won't that long.
God
but
speaking.
no, he is the god of music right now. But what I'm saying is just
He ain't
that
the God in my opinion.
that's Kodak's music though. Is it literally anything that you seen him say on Instagram or happen? It literally comes up in his music. Like you can literally go through a timeline of his music and be like, oh, this is exactly what his life is like. Not everybody is like that in rap. In rap history, it's only a handful of rappers that you probably could speak that for. That's really speaking what happens in their life.
That's a cool. That's a cool feature. I do remember now after I listened to it that the only thing I took away was like the police are big meanies.
Yeah, that's what you said.
That's what it sounded like. He wrote a whole record and was like, "Yeah, I fucked up, but y'all could have let me go." It was like the whole song was just y'all are being mean to me. So I kind of just was like, "Yo, get this shit out of here."
Oh, he killed it though, man.
That was how I took it.
That was really
I like
good.
that joke with King Combs you shared today. That's a dope record.
Yeah, I think that was a good little like throwback. King Combs is definitely riding his daddy's coattails a bit. But what else would you expect?
Why not?
Why not? Right?
You can grab a coattail,
My
might as
dad
well
is
be
Puff
his.
Daddy.
I get it. Hey, yeah. I think it was dope. I think
Give
Kodak
him
really
credit. I feel
Kodak
like
killed it.
just about every record that I've heard King Combs come out with, have been solid records. Like I don't think he's put out a bad record since he's been.
I don't think he can rap very well, but I think him mixing in other people on the records and like that's secondary to like making a good song.
He's no Nardo Wick, that's for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. he can make a. I mean, you gotta think about it. He knows what it takes to make.
Well, say like father, like son.
Right, Diddy can't fucking rap, but he know what it takes to make a fucking hit single. So, yeah.
Do y'all call him King Combs?
That's his name. I don't know what else to address him as besides Diddy's son.
That's what I would call him. I'm not calling you King Combs. Get the fuck out of here.
His name is King Combs.
Get out of here,
call
son.
him Diddy's son.
That's what I would.
I was calling him Lil Diddy for a minute, but now that he's
just like him, yo. That shit is scary.
He's a very spitting image of his face.
Yeah, it's a little scary.
King Combs my ass.
It's Black King, man. Do you respect the Black King?
I don't.
I won't call him that. But
if
you want to be called King Combs or whatever, that's fine. Maybe he'll do a name change later in his career like his dad did.
I don't respect his kingdom. I don't. Any other new music?
Oh, man. What
I heard one Joey Badass track. I'm excited for that album. It sounds like the old... Not like he changed up a ton or nothing, but... It reminded me immediately of his 1999 mixtape project. This one is 2000. It's an album. I'm excited for that. I like Joey Badass.
Shout out to Joey.
Carl thought he was the next
Biggie.
I didn't say that.
That's what he said.
I didn't say that specifically.
That's what he said. Joey Badass made the next Biggie is wild.
That's what he said. It was like, I thought he was going to be like the next, like New York, like Biggie.
Like kind of filling that void, like next J type thing for New York. That's what you thought.
He doesn't.
No. Don't say you. Don't say you thought. I never thought better than this. You say
I never thought.
But you don't like Joey Badass at all, though.
I don't say I don't like him at all. I'm not a fan.
I wouldn't even say that I'm a fan.
Like the few records.
The first, this is like 10 years ago. The first time I heard a freestyle from Joey Badass, and you'd be like, "Oh, well, this is the only guy from New York doing it."
He burst on the scene with there was a song off of that 1999 mixtape, and he sounded a lot like Nas. He murdered that song. Yeah. I'm going blank on the name of the song. So when I heard him, I was super hyped, and I did think he was going to be a lot bigger than he has ended up becoming. But he doesn't make music that's popular.
No, exactly.
He very much still makes 90s sounding music. People don't really care for that on a large scale. I do think he has now like really solidified his fan base. I think he does have a solid fan base, and those are the people that are going to listen to this album. But I mean, he clearly is never going to be popular. Funny thing is, he did one album that was like more melodic and
I remember that. I like the
modern sounding. I love that album, and it's kind of rare that you get the like super bar spitter to step out into that more modern sound and still like it. But I thought he did that really well. Yeah, didn't go very far.
I like one of them singles off of that joint though.
He
was trying to do something different with
something America with the KK
and all that. It was cool.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the only thing I wanted to mention.
Yes, indeed. Nardo, I swear, Rizzo. I like that new Uzi Vert single too. It's pretty good.
Uzi?
Not really a huge Uzi fan, but it's nice.
I didn't see
Uzi
that
back in his SoundCloud bag again.
Okay.
When he had his first came on the scene making that type of music.
I dislike like 85 to 90% of his music, but the ones that I like, I fucking love them.
Very catchy.
Got a couple songs and I'm like, yo, play that shit again. Yeah. I love it when I like it.
Now all my friends out there shit come on. Like,
it's too fire.
You can't deny it. It's undeniable.
That's a great record. Sure. You got two that I really like. Other than that, I don't want to listen to Uzi.
Probably could put together like 7 or 8 songs, but it's not many compared to all the music that he has.
Yeah, I don't like it.
True indeed.
No, true indeed.
I guess we can go over a little bit. I guess we're gonna have to if we want to. You had mentioned something about insurance policies.
Oh, okay. French Montana was doing an interview with Academics, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And he was speaking on how labels are taking life insurance policies out on their artists now. Well, the rappers. How do y'all feel about that?
Sounds like smart business.
React.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I thought I was going to have the not well-liked opinion on this, but why not? Makes sense.
Yeah. From a business standpoint, you can say it makes sense. But my question would be, are you doing this for all your artists or just the the street rappers.
They do it for athletes as well.
Okay.
I don't know if many people know that. I don't know if that's a well-known thing. I work for an insurance company, and we had life insurance policies. We randomly come across an athlete. I think Le'Veon Bell had one.
Yeah.
Sammy Sosa had one with the company we work for.
But their product is their body. So
Yeah,
that
it's an asset. I mean, anybody that you're giving a large amounts of money to, I think I don't know about other industries outside of these two, but it would make sense if you have a lot of money invested in somebody. Why not have an insurance policy as an insurance for yourself as well? Mm-hmm. You asked a question though. I don't know. I don't know if that's only for their street rappers or.
Yeah, because that's what the question. Because it's the odd timing for this type of information to come out. Makes sense for business wise, I guess. You know, if something happens, I mean, if you own their catalog already, why you got to have a
I want to know what kind of
policy on it? You're still gonna make money off their music.
I want to know how this underwriting
is getting probably goes up. So
approved.
So what happened?
Like how this underwriting is getting approved for these gang members and shit like that. Like I mean, that's got to be. Like, what insurance company is picking up these policies? You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to know. Because these guys probably have a more likelihood like to pass away early. So, I don't know. It seems interesting to me. And then some of these guys getting locked up as well, too. So, it's like, I don't think you can collect on an insurance policy of somebody who's in prison.
True.
Or who dies in prison or something like that. So, I just wonder how that goes.
For sure.
Yeah. Seems a bit odd. I understand it business wise, but I guess it's just odd to have that conversation with a 20-year-old. I'm gonna put you on this life insurance policy. I know we signed you to this deal for your next 3-4 albums, but you know, we gotta make sure we good in case you don't make it to that third album. Like it's just a little bit odd thing.
It is odd. I feel like probably the public perception, and I could be wrong, but I feel like this might be kind of where you're coming. Is there something wrong with it?
It's nothing wrong with it. I just think it doesn't make me feel good about it. It doesn't seem ethical because it's almost not to know what their reason for it is. It makes it seem like, oh, I know these motherfuckers coming through the streets. They probably ain't gonna make it in the next couple of years. Let me get a life insurance on them. It just seems like an odd thing, especially when you know they're probably owning their music. So I'm gonna win. They gonna win off your music streaming from when you die. And I get to make some money back off your life when you lose it. It seems a little bit overkill to me. I don't know. A little overkill.
I don't know. I mean, there's so much. There's so little information in what we've been presented with.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if there's really even enough to comment on. I just can't find, like, if I'm trying to think through it and find where is it wrong, immoral, unethical. I can't really find a thing that I would pinpoint as it being
because
one
like
of
you
those.
say, you do with athletes, like it makes sense for an athlete. An athlete body is their commodities. Do you have to take insurance out on that? Taking life insurance out on a rapper,
But they use
it's just odd because now he's like you're directing it to a certain situation. Do they take life insurance out on Taylor Swift or a Post Malone? I don't know. Like, it's like,
I couldn't comment
I gotta
on
get
it.
life insurance on this person because I don't know.
I couldn't comment on
It's just
it. It would seem reasonable that they would. I mean, with the athlete, they use their body for producing at a high level to keep their value.
Yeah.
But a life insurance, you're just insuring the life of the person, whether they're using their body or their vocals or whatever they're using. It's just an asset. You're just insuring an asset. In essence, I don't know. I mean, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. It seems, I don't know. It does look funny, but I don't know why. I think that's kind of just because, in general, the view of the entertainment industry is these greedy rich people using other people, and I just
all your creative work. Now, pretty much, I'm gonna make money off your life itself as well if you die. What? What?
Yeah, hey, well.
It just seems like an odd thing to do. I don't know. Who knows?
I ain't mad at it. I can't be mad at it. So
I am curious. I would like to know more information. I don't even know where you would find that out about. It's just something randomly said on a podcast. But it's an interesting concept. I hadn't heard that before.
It's definitely odd.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense. These are large loans they're giving out to these people. So, I mean, it's not only them getting their streams or whatever for the next whatever amount of years, but they got to make that advance back. Like when they give out, you
got the music,
but that's not how it works.
But I guess
they're giving out a loan to these people initially. Like you get whatever your advance is. They're expecting to get 3 times that back from you. So.
Plus, there's no certainty in how well the music
is going to
sells after, right, or even in the moment. So I don't know. I do. That makes sense. What you're saying.
You gotta get your money back.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. Would y'all give your girl $1,000 so she could take a picture with Chris Brown at a concert?
No, never. I wouldn't give my girl $1,000.
Right. We can stop there.
We just stop it there. But particularly for Chris Brown, no. For a picture? No, actually, I might break up with the girl off of that. And not because I'm jealous of Chris Brown. Just like, you don't know how to manage money. You think a picture with anybody is worth $1,000.
You got it to spend.
Oh,
you about to take out my savings so you can take this picture. If you just got it like a racks, like just there, like,
no.
Yeah, you can go. You won't do that.
No. Yeah, no, absolutely not.
There's a real big uproar on the internet.
Absolutely,
Chris Brown's taking pictures with his fans.
Well, no, people are saying that he's charging too much, and I'm like, no, he's not.
I was just comparing him to Michael Jackson last week. Now he can't charge $1,000 for a pic with him.
I think it's an absolutely asinine purchase. But there is no such thing as too much. You set prices, and if nobody pays it, you lower the price. If they're paying it, you're making bucks.
Yeah, that's it.
That's on the consumer,
and they was fucking paying it because they want a picture with Chris Brown.
He's a smart guy in that situation.
Hey,
respect.
Make your money, King.
They do it old school, Women used to be stalkers and shit. Catch them coming out the hotel. Hey, let me get a picture.
Yeah, but he's got hands. He's got hands.
Do it old school. You think you motherfucker just run up on Chris Brown? Hey, let me get a picture.
Sometimes this shit probably. I'm sure it's worked for plenty of people. I'm sure they got some pictures in their phone, but they didn't have to pay for it.
But they want like a professional homecoming dance pic though.
Right.
They want like that. Though.
They say it looked like he was with his girlfriend or something. Like the pictures look like
fucking prom pictures.
Yeah, they're really nice. So I mean, look, I don't think he's charging too much. It's like, what do you expect for him to charge for?
Well, that's a crazy price.
Exclusive picture.
That's a crazy price. I'm just saying, if they'll pay it, then you're not charging too much.
I don't know because I don't know what's relative.
Like,
what is it relative to? Like, what is everybody else charging?
I don't give a fuck. Just life. It just doesn't make sense to spend $1,000.
No, it certainly doesn't make sense at all for anybody to do it. But it makes sense for him to charge that much, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, I'm with you. Capitalism. If it works,
I mean, most situations, like when artists like that have meet and greets after their shows or before their shows or something, most people charge for the meet and greet.
Yeah,
like you're paying something to come to the meet and greet regardless. It's not just like a free open. All 20,000 y'all can come to this for free. You got to pay to come to the meet and greet. So maybe it's just an added thing. If you want one of these pictures with me, it's gonna be another rack.
Probably
to
is
get this pic. So it's just makes sense. Make your money, bro.
Yeah, it probably is what it is.
Yeah, like I said, I don't have any issue with it at all.
What else?
Do your thing. What else do I have on my docket? I think there might be all. I got some shows that we watched.
If your girl want to take a picture with Chris Brown for $1,000, she for the streets. You should.
100%.
You probably kick that to the curb.
For the streets? Is it for the streets?
She for the streets.
She ain't gotta fuck him.
She would though.
Yes, she would.
She most definitely would.
If you pay $1,000 for a picture,
she most definitely would. No doubt in my mind that she most definitely
100%.
Oh no,
100%. You think you will be safe?
Would your girl let you pay $1,000 of your own money to take a picture with some girl?
Who's the girl?
Nicki Minaj, whoever you want it to be. I don't care.
I wouldn't do that, but
would your girl be cool with it? You're spending your money.
I think she would. If I'm spending my money, she damn sure would.
Oh, you're for the streets too.
I'm for the streets. I wouldn't do that, but it's like, if I'm spending my money to do, I'm not trying to go hit.
I'm looking.
I just want this experience to be able to get all up on Nicki Minaj.
I'm looking at anybody funny that pays $1,000 for a picture with any
just
person.
to get close to somebody. What else would you do?
I don't respect that person.
What else? This is just for a picture.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What else would you do?
Underestimating the super fans motherfuckers got out there.
No, I believe him. I'm just saying I don't respect
throw a shoe
them.
out in the stand. Oh, I got a shoe. What you gonna do with this motherfucker's one shoe?
What makes you think?
Adidas.
What makes you think the first second they wouldn't get this motherfucker awesome Jawsome? You know what I'm saying? Like the first second,
awesome Jawsome.
the first second that they
Is
get.
wow. And that is the title of this fucking podcast.
Oh my god.
I'm
is
seriously.
nuts.
Awesome Jawsome. That's nuts.
They're fucking going crazy over a sweat towel.
I'm with you. I'm with you, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, come on, bro. You set yourself up.
Celebrity.
Some dudes took some pics with them too.
I believe it.
And I'm sure I know what their
I see a
intentions
couple
are.
pictures with dudes.
They watch P Valley.
Yeah.
Yo.
That's a fact. Thinking that Chris is like one of those guys. I mean, maybe. I know he plays his big gangster persona, but maybe behind the scenes.
That's crazy. Yo, honestly, I don't understand like the worship of celebrity that some people have.
Yeah,
It doesn't make sense to me at all, son. Look, don't get me wrong. There's
I feel like it's lessened in this generation. Like, you still got the wild ones. I think it's lessened because you just see them so frequently. Back in the day, I feel like it might have been more so at its height.
Okay.
Because you didn't see motherfuckers that often.
I see what you're saying.
So, motherfucking, I don't know, Nelly just walked through this joint. The girls is going nuts when they see Nelly. Because you don't see Nelly a lot. But Nelly's here. I'm going nuts. I'm doing whatever I can do to get close to Nelly.
Yeah, I can never see myself like wigging out because I saw a celebrity. It would just be like, have I seen them?
Now, have you ever thought about what you saw Kevin Gates?
Yeah, like literally as close as me and you are right now.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about what you would do if you ran into like your favorite athlete of all time? Out of the restaurant or something.
If I was to see Tom, I don't know what the fuck I would do. But I feel like anytime you hear somebody talk about beating Tom, they say the same thing, like, it's fucking Tom Brady.
Right.
You should be excited about seeing this motherfucker being in your presence right now.
Honestly, I feel like I would just shake his hand.
I'm saying, would you ask for a picture? Would you shake his hand? Would you try to talk to him or something?
I don't think I would ask for a picture from anybody.
I think I would ask for a picture.
You see Ben, you're not trying to get a pic with Ben.
I mean, I wouldn't ask for it though.
If you see Ben and Tomlin standing right there,
You think he's just gonna ask if you want a picture?
Maybe.
He wants to be asked.
Might be worth something.
I would ask like casually, and if they say no, I'm like, all right. Like, I'm not gonna be that guy. It's like, come on, man, let me get a picture. Yo, just gotta take a selfie.
oh yeah, I
like,
wouldn't be acting like that. But not even the asking part, just who you think will give you the feeling of like, yo, like you just start acting weird, like, yo, it's fucking. Y'all see
You
that
get
is like
butterflies?
that?
Somebody give you butterflies?
Yeah,
though?
that's I don't like
It
the way
wouldn't
you
happen
describe
to me.
that.
I can tell you
okay,
what happened.
okay.
He's too cool.
Y'all ain't got nobody in the world that would make you feel uneasy a little bit if they stepped in the room out of nowhere.
Tupac.
So motherfucker got come back from the dead to surprise you.
Yeah, that would work.
All right,
That
so
works.
Derek Jeter, Carmelo would be the two athletes that I would be like legitimately excited if I ran into them and like had the opportunity to meet them.
Right.
Schulz,
Schulz.
I would legitimately be excited, but like I for real think it would stop at like, yo, I just want to say what's up, big fan or whatever.
Right.
And depending on their response, like, yo, can I get a picture or something?
Yeah.
And I
Not
think
saying
I-
that you
I
would
think I
show
would
it
leave
like
it at that.
fangirl out.
Yeah.
Like,
Just
faint.
on some like, oh shit.
Like, oh, this motherfucker just faded, dog.
Are you?
That'd be wild.
Yeah, right.
Are
Not
you
the fangirl out. Just like, of course you would contain it and be cool about it, but in your mind and in your chest, you like, yo, this is fucking Derek Jeter right
No,
here.
100%.
Like,
And if I had on a Yankee hat or something, I'm asking for the autograph.
you got to.
You
got
can
to.
turn it down. It is what it is, man.
You gotta at least ask. What's that gonna hurt? When last
Yeah.
time you gonna run into Derek Jeter?
But
But
I would certainly ask for an autograph.
But I wouldn't just like, you gotta have something to autograph. Like I wouldn't be like, yo, could you sign this napkin for me?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Sign
I think the
Forehead,
autograph
man.
might be kind of dying a little bit though.
Yeah, right.
The autograph might be dying a little bit. Like if you ain't got the picture of it, it ain't happening.
Oh, I don't care.
You gotta get the picture.
The autograph is for me.
True. Right.
I'm not gonna sell it or nothing, so I'm not really worried about authentication.
That's why I wouldn't take a picture though, because like that moment, like I don't need anybody to validate that shit for me.
No, for me though. I got a picture of Tom Brady right here.
Yeah, I want the picture.
I want that picture, bro.
But to me, it's just the memory like that means something to me. It's like, oh, I actually encountered this person or whatever.
Thoughtful person. If you had a picture of you and Mike Tomlin, Ben Roethlisberger hanging in your house, and somebody's, oh shit, you got let me tell you about the story. You're gonna be very excited to share that experience with somebody.
I mean,
I'm not
saying that I would not want one. Like, okay, but I wouldn't necessarily go on my way like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Oh, we got to take a picture. I got to get a picture with them. I'd be like, no, I see him cool. As long as I can probably interact with him a little bit, that's enough for me.
I don't believe you.
He's too cool for school over here.
I don't believe you. You're getting excited about the Steelers. If you saw him, would you be more excited if you met Tomlin or Big Ben?
Why we ain't bring up the real one? If you seen Kodak. If you seen fucking Kodak, that's what we should have brought up
you
first.
Changed my life. Your shit is so real. I just love how when you put out a music, it's like that's what he did yesterday. You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean I might actually say all that stuff to him, but I wouldn't necessarily go up and be like, yo, I gotta get a picture with. I'd be like, no, that's Jack. Like, he's one of the greatest rappers of all time, in my opinion.
You know, you'd have Sniper Gang on.
Yeah,
we already know you'd have a t-shirt on.
He might just fuck with me off the rip, like, oh shit. But no, I mean, I wouldn't go out of my way or do nothing like out of the ordinary. It's just like, okay, that's Jack over there. Like, hopefully I get a chance to interact with him or whatever, talk to him a little bit. But other than that,
be like, I named my dog after you.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
Time on a Big Ben. Who would you be more excited to meet?
He's not gonna give it up. I think Word is full
probably
of shit
Big
right
Ben.
now.
Yeah,
completely full of shit.
Probably Big Ben.
What if he tried to touch you?
What do you mean?
He's into weird stuff, you know?
What are you talking about?
He's into weird stuff.
What do you mean? You would get dropped, motherfucker. What y'all want?
You got anybody other than Brady? It's gotta be a Celtic too. Paul Pierce?
Nah. Probably not Paul Pierce. I like Paul. Care. Maybe KG. Tatum. Maybe take KG. If I seen KG, that's my guy right there. I don't know if I would lose it, but I'll be highly excited. I'll be highly excited to see
get a picture with Shaq.
But there's some females out there. We ain't talking about the females. If I see Sanaa Lathan or somebody somewhere, boy. Come on, man.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. You see how you reacted right now? It is to think that these women don't want to fucking.
I didn't say they didn't. I just said that they won't. He won't charging people to fuck them. It was charging to take a pic.
No, right.
That's what I'm saying. I ain't saying that they wouldn't if they had opportunity.
All I'm saying is if your girl goes.
Well, I damn sure would if I had the opportunity.
With Chris Brown?
No, not with Chris Brown.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
That's what he said.
Is Chris Brown a prostitute?
I mean, yeah, you know.
That might be a better question.
In a way, I guess.
Is Chris Brown a prostitute because of this?
Possibly.
Ruby Rose.
He went down the path now.
Yeah, right.
Shinsia.
Oh. Yo.
Yeah.
Yo, can we take a video?
Shinsia. Like, well, come on, man. What we talking about?
You know, Boomerang?
Again.
Name song. What we talking about right now? Justine Sky.
Shinsia. That's a damn good one, son.
Damn right it is.
All right, we should stop
this. What do you think about over there, Meg?
Fuck no.
Yo, Tori for Stallion to pop that thing on you one time, bro.
I'm good on that. I will be good on it.
She probably beat your ass, fool. She probably can beat your ass like she beat on Tori.
Let's be real. I told you, look.
We're spiraling out of control.
Look.
He's right. Wait, think about what you're going to say first. Think about what you're going to say first. We don't believe in women hitting.
Yeah, I do not believe in beating women. I've never put my hands on a woman. But.
Yeah, always a but.
Motherfucker.
She got a lot of that too.
I also believe in equal rights.
Oh.
I am
you're
also.
a feminist.
Yes, a feminist.
And pro-life.
Yeah, and I also believe in what you throw out comes back. I'm a believer in karma or whatever, the laws of physics as well.
The laws
of biology too. I'm a believer in all of science, motherfucker. So I know for a fact if Megan Thee Stallion hit me, it wouldn't be a good day.
What makes you think you like getting up after the hit though? Like she wouldn't just knock you clean out,
bro?
You act like you was just gonna eat the punch. She might sock your ass.
I would say there's not
leave
a
you on the
woman
ground. You waking up. Where'd she go? Gone.
There's not a woman in this world.
She gonna knock you out and go,
There's not a woman in this world that can knock me out. I would say that. She doesn't exist.
Here we go.
There's no woman in this world.
When we had this debate in the shop that he could beat Layla Ali.
Oh, I could ring.
Who?
Okay.
No, it was Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Or both. I think you said both.
I never said Layla Ali.
Oh, you don't think you beat Layla?
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, any woman. God damn it, this is not a competition.
Me and Carl had a heated debate about Ronda Rousey and Floyd Mayweather in a MMA fight.
Yeah, it just wouldn't never make it that far. She would get knocked the fuck out with a jab. That's all I'm saying,
I'm
bro.
still taking Ronda.
I'll take Ronda in the MMA.
Let's go. Let's go.
Floyd
that
can
bitch in a
have 2
arm
weeks
bar.
of
Fucker ain't
training.
never touched the ground.
It don't
What
matter,
do you think
bro.
you gonna do? He can't even spell MMA.
She ain't never put a man on the ground. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, he can't spell him, man. Fuck
Not at all, son.
Look.
I'm gonna battle you. What?
Look,
Bruh.
like this motherfucker blow me a kiss. But no, bro. Let's just like again, the physics, dog, biology, all of that shit. That shit comes in anatomy. A man is just stronger than a woman. She
And
doesn't
skill though. You can't remove skill. A
Right.
skilled fighter is gonna be better at fighting than you.
They might have the skill, bro, but you don't have a skill for taking a fucking punch by a man to the face. You haven't developed that skill yet
I
because
think a
it's never
skilled
happened
fighter
to you.
is able
That's
to
all I'm
dodge your
saying.
punch.
You getting decked, motherfucker, in the face. He's knocked grown men out.
Oh, we're going.
That's all I'm saying.
We're going big time now for sure.
Yeah.
After this conversation, I just think I could be a
face.
WNBA player in basketball. I'm starting to think that maybe I couldn't, but
Not at this point.
I'm not sure.
Not
Oh,
now.
you thought it was years ago you could have?
I'm not sure if I might be able to now. I don't know that, but I'm starting to come around that maybe they could beat me like in horse or
Well, I
something.
won't say, all right, so like Serena, for example.
Yeah.
Do you
Or
think
take her
Serena
in
can beat
basketball.
any man in her prime?
I think she could beat you.
At what?
I'm talking about in tennis, like a real tennis
Not
player.
professionals, but I think she
A
could beat
real-
regular men in tennis.
Yeah, if you're not a professional tennis, but I'm talking
Just
about
like you're not a professional fighter. That's the point I'm making.
Her number one. You think she could beat a college tennis player?
I don't know anything about tennis. It's a
Do you
women's
think she
sport
could?
anyway.
Do you think she can stop it?
They got men's tennis.
Yeah, stop it. Do
What
you think
is
she can beat
that?
a man's like the? I guess
I think she could beat an amateur tennis player. Yeah.
Yeah, college would be amateur.
Yeah.
I don't think so. It's not a.
When we
not
talking
a
about the
good-
pros, maybe that's different. Now we talking about a different level.
She couldn't even. I think
You
she
wouldn't
did.
take her
Didn't she play
against
like
a
Because I don't
college?
think it's like a man and woman thing. I think if you're a professional at your sport and a person is not, just because they're a man don't mean they're gonna beat you. That's not gonna trump their profession
No,
or
I
what
agree.
they do.
I agree.
I disagree with
You don't
that.
think she could beat a college men's tennis player?
Not if he's like especially not if he's the number
Now you're
one
talking
on
about the
his
best
team.
of the best. You just said college player. Now we talking about the best of the
I'm
best.
talking a college player that is a good college player, not just any college player, a good one, like that shouldn't be. He would rank in the men probably like in the 200s or something like that as a professional. So he's not wouldn't be an elite professional at all. He would give.
200th ranked man.
He
You don't
was
think she
Prime
could beat-
Serena or Serena now?
He will whoop
Prime Serena?
Prime Serena's
I put my money
ass.
on Prime
bro.
Serena.
She played a man that was ranked in the 200s.
Yeah.
He whooped her ass. Wasn't close. He beat her in like straight sets.
Oh, that's
I don't think
interesting.
she might have won one game.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know about tennis.
Well,
You could be, if you might be
don't
right.
have to even know about tennis just to know
Well,
the
I think
dynamics
it's
between a man and a woman. It's
But
just
tennis
logical.
is not.
that's a different thing. It's like you said,
Yeah,
the
speed
NBA
and
player
power
can't beat
to
an
be
NBA
played.
player.
Sure, but like
You changed the conversation. a little
accuracy
It's a
with
reason-
hitting the ball and stuff has got to be relevant. No,
But it's the speed of which the ball travels. It's just like you think the top batter in softball can hit anything that a pitcher in the MLB will throw. No, it's the one happen.
I think I agree with you there. But this initially
I don't
started
know if I
off
agree
It's just a difference of speed and
you
power.
being an unprofessional fighter fighting a professional woman fighter, not them fighting a male professional in their shit. That's a different conversation. I'm talking about you off the street, walking out your crib, Ronda Rousey right there said square up.
yeah, you're getting whooped. You just got knocked the fuck out.
I hate to play out the scenario, but dog, look, I'm gonna let y'all know. I don't know if you guys knew this, but I have like some of the fastest hands that you probably ever see. I know real shit.
Like he was just going like this.
My hands are extremely fast, like, and they work very well, and I can punch shit pretty hard.
Right.
She would get knocked the fuck out, bro. Like I hate to go through that scenario, but any woman would get knocked the ground. Most men would get knocked the fuck out. So let's just be real about it. Right. That's all I'm saying. Like, let's be real about what we're looking at.
He thinks he could beat Deontay.
Yeah, he did.
So the Ronda Rousey wasn't gonna get him.
Yeah, I know.
He lacks technique. I could work inside.
You might be able to beat him with the full gear on that he had.
Like the weight him down,
85-pound suit.
I'm not saying that I can. I'm not saying that I could beat Ronda Rousey in an MMA fight or something.
That's what I'm saying.
We're talking about going. Oh well, I mean, I could beat her if I knocked her ass out.
In a street fight, she can still take you down.
I don't give a. It would never get that. She
She's
would
not
never
gonna
get
stand
that
there in
close,
front
bro.
of you and just let you punch.
She would get hit in the face, and then after getting hit in the face by a man, she would be like, you know what? I'm good on that shit. That's what she would say.
Why do you think you're going to be able to hit her in the face if she's a trained fighter?
That's a good question.
You think she's going to stay right there and take your best shot?
What did I just say about? First of all, what did I just say about my hands?
I know you got the fastest
What did I
hands.
just say about these?
Do you think you can take...
This is legit a 12 punches in a second. I don't know if you guys know that.
Do it now.
12 punches in a second.
He Bruce Lee.
Do it now.
He Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee could do like 16.
Do 12 in a second right now.
Come on.
I mean, I need a punch bag or something.
Fuck the mic up.
Yeah.
I could do a punch bag or something.
Could you take Caitlyn Jenner?
I would say probably.
Could you take Caitlyn Jenner?
Yeah, for sure.
In a race.
For sure.
Oh, swimming.
I could take Caitlyn. None in a swimming? Fuck no.
A decathlon.
Fuck no.
Yeah, you ain't got it.
That's a gold medalist.
That's a man, though.
I know. That's why I had to throw that out there.
That's different.
She's a woman.
Okay.
Respect.
She identifies as a woman.
Show respect.
Yeah. Technically.
I don't know how we got here.
No idea.
We were talking about Chris Brown prostituting himself for pictures, and
Yeah.
now we've got to Carl fighting women.
Ronda Rousey and shit.
This is great. This is a good pod.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good shit.
And again, I would like to state, I would never hit a woman.
Cut that part out, though. Just leave everything.
Unless.
Too much content before you got to that statement.
Unless.
Already there.
I'm just saying, you run up on me, you want one of these big burly bitches. I'm just saying, you probably gonna get rocked. Or if you think you gonna hit one like my lady or something, look, bitch, I'm sorry. You tried the wrong one.
What other random scenarios we got? This is fun.
That was pretty good.
I don't know about any other.
See if I can whip up real quick. I thought I had some other shit.
I don't know if this is going to be as interesting as it was when I was thinking about it, but so the Bucks fans get on my fucking nerves. Cause
Which Bucks?
The Tampa Bay Bucks.
Tampa Bay Bucks.
Because they think they're hot shit because they had their Super Bowl and everything, and they got Tom Brady, and they're nothing. They're garbage. They're still a trash franchise. So I was thinking of comparisons, and I decided the Tampa Bay Bucks are like, how can I say this without it being too bad?
I'll take it there. Fuck it.
They're an ugly girl with a fat ass.
Huh.
And Tom Brady.
A lot of those out there.
Tom Brady is the CEO.
I think they call those butterheads.
Oh, I like that.
Everything look good.
Butterhead.
There it is.
Butterface.
Yeah, that's the one I'm more familiar with. Butterhead works.
Either way, they both work.
Yeah.
Tom Brady is a rich CEO in a midlife crisis. He's got a family and everything.
Yeah.
But he's like, yo, I'm kind of bored.
Yeah.
And he wants to step out, get this young little thing with a fat ass.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows he's got money. So, by the way, in this scenario, the fat ass was...
The squad with all them pieces on it.
Yeah, specifically Mike Evans and the other receiver, Godwin,
Godwin,
whatever his name is. Yep. That was the fat ass in this scenario. Brady's like, yo, I got money, I can fix up the rest of her to make her look good.
You can't leave AB out.
No, AB was the fix up.
Oh, okay.
That was Brady spending the money to make her look beautiful the rest of the way.
Right.
So he paid to get her fixed up and stuff. And at some point soon, he's going to realize the fun is over. He's going to retire. He's going to go back to his family. And that girl is going to think that she's still hot because Tom Brady made her.
That's going to be a hard fall.
That's what often, that happens too often.
But then after he leaves her, she realizes that she's nothing again. And she has no value. And nobody likes her.
Yeah.
That was what I came up with when I was really mad at these Bucks fans. And then I was like, well, what does that say about the Panthers? So I continue with the scenario. And we are a single mom that had a long-term relationship and it didn't work out. We split. That was Cam. Times were tough. We tried.
Now the kids don't know who to call daddy.
Exactly. We tried to get the other guy that had potential back in high school and college, but he never became nothing.
Yeah.
We tried to make it work. You know who that is. Things didn't work out with him, so we were even like, fuck it. Let's try to bring the family back together. Brought Cam back in and realized all the reasons why it didn't work in the first place.
Never works again the second time around.
Exactly. So now we saw
Let the
Baker.
past be the past. They get it.
Baker just got out of a relationship.
He did.
It's a rebound.
His wife saw the new hot thing out on the scene.
Yeah.
And signed the big money making big dick.
Yeah. She busted open.
Deshaun Watson.
Busted it open.
Just
all the way.
Threw him out in the cold. And we were like, yo, we're in need. You're in need. Let's try to make it work.
He did.
And that's where we're at right now. So yeah, I don't know what that has to do with anything, but that was a scenario that I came up with because I hate the fucking Bucks. And I can't wait for them to be nothing again. And their fan base to realize what losers they are.
I know very few actual Bucks fans.
Yeah, me too. Because they're not real.
I don't see them like talking that like they really appreciative of being back here in this position again because they've had a long hard 20 years to say so to speak since they've been in a position like this before. So hey, talk your shit. If I was in their position, I'd be talking my shit too. You've been down for a long time. It was going nowhere.
And I get it.
Enjoy
the wins and stuff.
Yeah.
But this is a divisional foe. They think everything's funny with the Panthers. They like trying to throw shots. And I'm like, hey,
y'all sweet out here.
Y'all the same piece of trash that we are. Yeah. Recognize it.
Yeah,
You're being blessed right now by the GOAT.
You gotta
and once he doesn't care about you anymore, you suck again.
Yeah.
And I just can't wait for that moment.
It's very true.
I had to get that off my chest.
James played with that same team.
Yeah.
And we see what he
garbage.
30 for 30.
That's because he sucks.
I think he's going to be the winner of that division this year.
Trash. Not true. We put another bet on that?
You don't think the Saints going to win the division this year?
No. Do you want to put a bet on that?
Who do you have winning the division?
Probably the Bucks again.
I don't think the Bucks. I think the Bucks will probably finish third.
Probably the Panthers again.
I'll take the Saints. I'll put a bet on that.
All right.
25
straight up. Man,
we'll take that.
I forget what our other bet was last week.
That's an easy bet. They by far have the best defense in there.
Not concerned. What was our bet?
Did they win the division last year?
No,
absolutely not. Right?
No. James got hurt.
Yeah, James got hurt. That was the problem.
What was our bet? And Alvin Kamara was hurt too for a lot of the season, and they didn't have Michael Thomas either. So
what was our bet last week?
That Lamar win the Super Bowl.
10-1.
Yeah,
10-1.
And I'm gonna win that shit.
Not concerned. Ours made $50. It's a good day today.
Why can't you make these bets with me? You got to make me make a biased bet with my squad at this time.
Bias.
Now you making all these stupid bets.
Because y'all get to arguing about bets in the chat.
Yeah.
And it's different. You can press Carl in person and just like keep going at him, and he's like, nah. They're gonna win.
But then I beat you in the bet last year.
You have one. I don't remember what it was, but I'm up
the last. I'm like up the last two, bro.
Get the fuck out of
here. The last two out of
I'm up at least 5-1.
Fuck no. When's he even out now?
Off the top, I can guarantee you that I got you on the Saquon Barkley in his rookie season.
Yeah, definitely.
Easy money.
And Lonzo.
Got you on what was Lonzo? The 3-point percentage?
Yeah, there's 38% or something.
I appreciate you because you just gave me another one. I forgot about that one. Also got you on the AD trade.
All right, so I know I
off
the last
top
two.
Of my head.
Bro, I know I love you. You done paid me the last two times.
What was the one?
With the Ben Simmons one.
It was Ben Simmons.
One.
It was one before
and that was one. I got called on the Ben Simmons one.
No, it was.
I got called on the Ben Simmons one. In the moment, I said something stupid and I wouldn't back off of it, and I lost $25.
I think we had something regarding the Steelers about making the playoffs last year. Yeah, and I won that one too. So it's 3-2, if anything.
That's not true.
That is. We battled the playoffs for the Steelers last year. Remember when the Steelers were 1-3?
That may be true. It certainly is not 3-2.
It's 3-2.
It's not 3-2.
And I'm about to be up. I'm just saying.
I got nothing to do the rest of the night. It's going to be a lot like whole PayPal history.
It's going to be a lot like Lamar Jackson's playoff record. You know what I'm saying? He might start off bad, but then we're going to hit a run. We're going to hit a run and be up.
I didn't know where he was going.
All of a fucking sudden.
He hasn't stupid.
He has.
I might suck like Lamar does.
He's
in the
only been in the
playoffs.
league 3 years. So
yeah.
Just remember that. Paid man had none.
So anyway,
again,
I had a Steelers scenario too. Not really in depth one, but I had a good one. I forgot what it is now.
I don't know. I mean, as long as it's something like
you should have bet on Miles getting a better rating than TJ Watt.
What a loser.
That's just ridiculous, man. But I was just trying not to feed into this Madden shit that much, man.
It's stupid. I hate all of the Madden talk, to be honest with you.
We've been talking about it the last 3 weeks. Every time a new list come out.
It's disgusting,
Get right into it again.
Some of the ratings are accurate. Yeah, like some of these guys do deserve to be the top. Like Tom Brady shouldn't be the top quarterback.
No chance.
Also, we got it. I guess we get into that list now.
Yeah, why not? That one was terrible.
They moved two of your guys in the top 10. You should be excited about that.
Yeah, your guy made it to the top 10.
Herbert and Lamar in the top 10.
Yeah, but they're disrespected too. Lamar shouldn't have a fucking 86 rating or 88. And Herbert got like an 88 rating.
Yeah,
Come on, bro.
Lamar should be like an 82.
Bro, he should be in the 90s.
Like a 91 running back.
He should be a 95.
If you put him at receiver, I'll make him a 95.
I don't know what this.
Jamar Chase, I think, was the worst rated player in Madden that I've seen this year.
Bro, what was his rating?
He wasn't in the top 10, and the top 10 was like down to like 86 or some shit.
Yeah, and they got the nerve to put Joe Burrow in the top 5. Like, well, how can you leave
90 overall?
How can you leave Jamar Chase out of that equation?
That's a good point.
And they got his running back in the top 5 as well, Joe Mixon. Like,
I think with games, because that was just his rookie season, right? With games, you're not very likely to be put in the 90s, even if you have a great rookie season, into the top 10 bracket after your first season.
I do see
Maybe
that.
they feel like he got to do it the second year before they give him that respect.
Maybe.
Joe Burrow only done it for 1 year.
Yeah.
They didn't give. I mean, he went fantastic his rookie season, and he got hurt towards ACL midway through. So that was really his only time showing us that he was a baller. You know, Jamar Chase came in the league and was shitting on folks, literally. So,
literally?
No, not literally.
I mean, there was a guy throwing him the ball though, so
yeah, he was good.
Like he wasn't throwing it to himself.
Yeah, but it's kind of easy to throw to a wide open target.
I know you don't want to give Burrow no respect for anything he's done.
I think Joe Burrow's
nobody in their right mind was picking the Bengals to be in the Super Bowl last year, and they did it.
Yeah, you can't hold on.
But nobody saw Jamar Chase coming too, though. Like, we gotta remember, like, he was their most dynamic offensive player. Like, that's what you gave. You didn't sit there and necessarily like say, "Oh, we gotta stop Joe Burrow." You said you gotta stop Jamar Chase from getting over top.
One of the best wide receiving corners in the league. So yeah,
this guy's retarded.
It's not just Jamar Chase. He has two other guys that are fully elite.
And
they got Joe Mixon in the backfield.
Who's T. Higgins is a good
Joe
player.
Mixon was a top 10 running back every year. Or at least he was last year.
Joe Mixon's a good player. Yeah, but this is the same argument that I was having last week about it or whatever, and you kind of just proving me right. But
no, you said something stupid last week.
Yeah.
We all know that he has a much better supporting cast. To say that he can't get better is retarded. That was what you said. Go ahead and say I didn't say that.
You said he's reached his ceiling already.
That's retarded.
I believe so.
That's retarded.
I believe that's the best of what we've seen is from him so far. So whatever you want to believe, I don't but yeah, I think Jamar Chase should definitely be a top 5 wide receiver.
I agree.
In the rankings, TJ Watt should be a 99.
I agree.
It's pathetic to see that you will put Myles Garrett over him, and like again, what point in his career has that ever happened? It hasn't.
Bigger, faster, stronger, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the factors of the game.
TJ Watt ain't getting no buckets.
No bucket.
Yeah, he's not getting no buckets. You're right about that. But he is getting the sacks, and that's what counts. He's the best edge rusher in the league, and he drops back in coverage and all of that shit too. So it's just ridiculous.
You got defensive player of the year. Be happy.
No, I'm not. We'll never be satisfied in Pittsburgh. I'll tell you that. It's not something that happens.
I think we should probably wrap it up. We're at 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Probably should.
I had a busy week this week. I don't have a sample.
I do.
You got some?
I got one. Yeah.
We got 2 samples. So hey, if you're watching, we appreciate you for watching.
Yes, indeed.
If you're listening, we got 2 samples coming for you. So stay tuned. Peace.
Peace.